Hello, hello. Oops, hold on. I did not reset my headphones since making them default means nothing to my computer. Okay. And then I need to tweet. Okay. Anyway, getting stuff up, getting stuff up. Hello, 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 hello. Probably only VOD watchers are gonna see this. Hello, VOD watchers. Okay. Post. All right. Good enough. Okay. More of this mystery game tonight. I'm excited to play it. It felt good. It felt like it felt good when we were playing it the other day. So I'm excited to play it some more, I think. Um mm, uh yeah, I don't know how long stream is gonna be tonight. Maybe just a couple hours, I think. Um so I don't know if that counts as short or not. I don't even know anymore. Yeah, a little later today because I wanted to put the VOD up before stream, just I don't know, because it's so that it looks prettier in my I don't know. I just wanted up for stream. It explains. I don't know. I just the order because I usually export the VODs immediately after the stream, and by the time I put it like I stream and then I export the VOD for this stream, and then when I go back into YouTube and the video I want to like put out is not the most recent one because the most recent one is today's VOD. I don't know. It doesn't make sense anyway. Like I could just do things differently, but I was just like, no, I want to get this VOD up before stream. So I had to go through and uh make the thumbnail and all that business and I want a little bit of time after stream today and before going to bed because I want to try to go through and watch my my own VODs, I think, for uh for content for shorts and stuff. Because I gotta. It's hard. You gotta watch your own content, and it's a lot of content. Hours of streams I have to watch and wait until I find something funny that I've said. That's probably not even very funny, but I'm desperate here. I'm desperate. um, takes a lot to make shorts. Actually, you know what? No, that's not even the fiction. What am I even saying? I have a couple shorts I want to make that I have to record. I should probably do that. Would make the most sense. Um, because like I don't want the next ones I post aren't I don't think gonna be clips. I want other things. So I have other things I want to post. So they're not even gonna be. I don't even know what I do have stuff I need to do. Need to make some shorts is the point, and work on my second channel and stuff. So I have other stuff to do after stream. So I don't want to stream for too terribly long tonight. But today was a pretty good day actually. Um, Going to work was all right. Like it wasn't too bad. Like it was a little awkward, like a little weird, but I don't know. People who are affected by the fires are acting pretty chill, acting pretty normal. They've had time to kind of not get over it, obviously, but they're coping. They're coping, and they're not really making it my problem. So it's pretty much as normal. Um, and but like, oh, okay, so there's this thing. Well, okay, I don't know. So LA weather this year was a little bit different, but normally, like around Christmas time, at least from the past few years that I've been here, before this one, I got into the habit of expecting this to be a particular weather pattern, which is around Christmas time, it is rainy or even stormy, right? It might even be storming around Christmas and like starting on Christmas and then like between Christmas and New Year's, right? Um in there. Like maybe not all the way up until New Year's, maybe a couple days after Christmas, but around that time it will be rainy and maybe even a little stormy. And then by New Year's, it is kind of sunny and nice and pretty. And it's a particular type of feeling, right? Like maybe people won't get this from everywhere, but if you're from the East Coast, like from the Northeast, it is that feeling of like a fresh start after rainy spring weather, right? Like let's say it's been like a week of rain in like March or April or something, right? And then and then it's like sunny for a couple weeks, right? And hey Pangson, welcome, welcome. And it's like that, it feels like that fresh, start after a rainy bout in spring. And usually in LA, in my experience, that happens around New Year's, after the rains of Christmas time. And then at New Year's, it's that fresh feeling. And it's really kind of nice actually, because, it's like right at New Year's. And so, you're thinking about the new year, you're making plans, and you also get that energized feeling of like springtime. Even though it's definitely not springtime because it is literally January, the beginning of January. It's like the start of winter, but it still feels like spring for some reason. But this year I didn't really get that feeling for some reason. I don't know why. The weather just wasn't, because we didn't have that rainy bit for Christmas, and then it didn't have that springtime feeling after, and we still haven't had that rainy bit. Like that still hasn't shown up, or it just hasn't happened. Didn't happen this year. Maybe it will get rainier. I mean, it's definitely probably going to be rainy by May and June because it almost always is. April, May, and June are kind of start to get kind of rainy, and or at least cloudy. It's the, what do they call it? The May grays and the June gloom is what they call it here. Um, but I feel sorry for the people who visit LA during those times of the year expecting it to be sunny and beautiful, because it's like hardly ever. I think last year or the year before we had like one sunny day in all of May. But but yeah, as of now in January, we haven't had like rainy weather yet. And for like the winter rains, rainy season, because sometimes it rains a lot in January and February and it floods because the ground isn't very like the ground's very hard and so it doesn't soak up the stuff. And there's also not a lot of underground sewage drain system here in LA, compared to the East Coast. Like I look around and I'm like, no wonder the roads are flooding. There's no drains. Like, of course, there's no drains to the sewer. Like, where Pennywise hides in, they're not here. Like they have some, but very, very rare, like compared to the East Coast. Like they're on every corner where I grew up anyway. But here, not really. So no wonder it floods. And not to mention the ground itself is harder and drier, and so it doesn't soak up as well. Um, but yeah, so but it hasn't really rained so much right now for like what could be a rainy season in a lot of years. However, it's kind of weird. Going out today, it did give that vibe of that like springtime energy. So which is really nice. Because like I said, it usually happens around January anyway, but it's usually after like Christmas rains, and then it happens at the beginning of January. But we didn't get the rain, so I wasn't expecting to get that energized feeling, and it definitely wasn't happening around New Year's. But it hit today. It hit today, so feeling very energized again, which is good because I was feeling very drained. I think it also helped last night too. Last night was a big self-care night. And so it was nice and rejuvenating too. I like just took some time to relax and chill, and yeah. Uh, and like, yeah, just, just take care. Sometimes you just gotta, not push yourself, and just focus on, you know, trying to get good sleep. Um, doing things that make you feel good, and just kind of rejuvenate you, exercise a little, stuff like that. And that felt good. Um, and then I was all set for today. And so it kind of all worked out. I mean, it's not like I slept a lot. I got like 5 hours of sleep, but like still. Um, so yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good. But I still had some other stuff to do before streaming things. So still not as long of a stream as I would like. It'll be a couple hours, but um, not like our 5 to 9 stream, obviously, because we're starting an hour, almost 2 hours late. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm getting back into it. I'm still getting back into it. Um, but I am feeling a lot better, which is nice. And like I said, I was really worried going back to work and everything, so drained. And I for stream and I wanted to like work on learning how to make games and writing and all that stuff I had planned, right? My goals for the year. Um, I was really worried because I was like, man, I'm feeling so drained. How am I going to have the energy to do all that? But I'm actually feeling pretty good. Um, at least today. So I guess I need to not burn myself out. Like I'm feeling good, and I'm worried I'm gonna. Well, not I'm not worried. I just had that worry. It's just that was I was talking. But the goal is to not burn myself out now. And be like I don't want to use this little burst of energy. I don't want to use it all up, right? You got to reserve some of it, have it build a little, Anyway, we're playing our mystery game some more today. Our murders on the Yangtze River. Yeah. Um, should be exciting, I think. I mean, it was already pretty, so, and I guess we can get right into it. No sense in dragging it on. Let's open up the game. Hmm. So last time Sherlock Holmes died, but he was actually a Chinese man. But we know Sherlock Holmes is a master of disguise. So, and he was wearing a Sherlock Holmes outfit. So it had to be him. That's how it works. Okay. Let me get the game up here. Who knows what that window's called? It's all in Chinese. Oh, wait, whoops, hold on. I'm too big. Here we go. Maybe that's good. I can't quite remember what my normal size is. Something like this, I think. Maybe. Who really knows? Yeah. Yeah, should be fine. Okay. You know what? It's whatever. Here we go. Okay. All right. Get into the game after I take a drink of my very uh kind of bitter tasting matcha. I was really sad it's iced matcha. And for some reason, it's not even just the ice, but I find it more of a problem with the iced, is they can't seem to decide. Most coffee shops, it's not, this one is from Starbucks, but, because I like, so Starbucks and Coffee Bean, the Coffee Bean matcha I don't like as well, because it's very, very milky, and it's very, like, weaker matcha taste. Starbucks matcha is stronger than Coffee Bean matcha, because it tastes like grass, like it's supposed to. I don't know if everyone else thinks matcha tastes like grass, but I think it tastes like grass. But that's why I like it, because it tastes like grass. I don't know if I like grass. I don't recall ever eating grass, but it tastes like grass and I like it. However, they can't always decide, and it's not just Starbucks, other coffee shops do this too. And it's not just here in LA, it's also on the East Coast, like everywhere I've been. Sometimes they just don't sweeten their matcha. Which is confusing to me because it says it's sweetened in the description, the item description. It says, with a pump of sweetener or whatever the phrase is, but it says it's sweetened. And I don't know if it's like supposed to be sweetened, if it's like, if people criticize it and be like, oh, they make their matcha too sweet. Proper matcha isn't sweetened, blah blah. I don't entirely know. Obviously, this is not ceremonial grade matcha or anything. It's freaking Starbucks. But like still, I like some consistency so I know what I'm getting when I order my drink. Am I gonna get sweetened matcha or am I gonna get unsweetened matcha? Be consistent. I need to know what I'm getting before I order it so that I know what I'm in the mood for. Because today I honestly was kind of in the mood for sweetened. I kind of wanted it a little bit sweeter than it is. I'm not really in the mood for this right now. Kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I'm Still drinking it, but, you know. They also didn't mix it very well, so I was drinking it, and like one of the first like sips I took out of it, you just drink it and then you just get like a mouthful of like matcha powder, and it's like that's not what I wanted from my matcha latte, but sure. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah, because they don't always stir their drinks very well either. And it's like, what, you expect me to do it? This thing is like full of ice, and you put a lid on that does not suggest removing it in order to do anything to this drink. I don't understand. Anyway, let's play our game. Continue. This one. I guess they're the same anyway. Yes. Unexpected misfortune. Okay. Okay, let me check our sound. I think it should be fine. Okay, we had to now investigate here. Sure. See my reflection in the Western style mirror. Will I be able to clear my name? I don't know. Well, there's so much we can look at. Yeah, examine the front door. A simple and modest front door made of pine wood. The broken latch still hangs on the door, exposing the brown lines within. Exposing the brown lines with— oh, they mean these. Is that what it means? Those pieces go together? Probably. Officer Ma, did you say that you broke this door latch with your kit? When I got here, that Lo Shihuen was shaking the door with all his might. What good would that do when the door is locked from the inside? I got anxious, so I went up and bam, kicked the door right open. A new clue. Ooh. A simple and modest front door made of pine wood. The broken latch still hangs on the door. Okay, we already. Okay. Look at them. What box? The wooden box is filled with books that Lo Pei published. Ghost in the Well, Bells and Bones. Ghost in the Well. Is that the ring? Bells and Bones. That sounds cool. Mysterious Echo, The Confined Room Mystery. These sound like it could be Sherlock Holmes books. Is he Sherlock Holmes or is he Watson? Probably not Watson. Watson can't disguise himself. Unfortunately, this copy of The Confined Room Mystery is not the original manuscript. You'd like The Confined Room Mystery too? The reason why I came to visit Lo Pei was to speak with him about this book. Oh, because the mystery you're oh, so he doesn't have anything— maybe he doesn't have anything to do with our mystery that we needed solved. But he did write about a closed door mystery, and that was probably what we were— which is what we have right here. That's actually the mystery we're currently solving. So maybe we'll learn something from solving this mystery. He can still help us. Chinese Sherlock can still help us. You got good taste. The death scenes in The Confined Room Mystery were absolutely stunning. Officer Ma, do you know where the inspiration of this book comes from? Ain't got a clue, but Master Lo was an extraordinary fella. Anything could have inspired him. I can't get this guy's voice down, but you know, bear with me. But if we're talking about good storytelling, it's gotta be Swordsman. Ooh, look at the animation. It's a real dang shame we'll never get to read the next volume. Maybe we can find his manuscripts around. Let's look at the corpse. Oh, hey Nev, welcome in. This is Lo Pei's corpse. Should I commence an autopsy now? Yeah, why wait? Why do an autopsy later when you can do an autopsy now? Hopefully I can still investigate the rest of the room. Male corpse declared legally deceased. Okay, these are the body parts. I know that. Head. faint fragrance can be smelled from the hair of the deceased. Oh, maybe he's just wearing some stuff. He needs some milk. The scent isn't from flowers, incense, or cologne. Well, what is it from? It seems to resemble a scent similar to camphor wood. Okay. It's a camphor wood. Is that a problem? What about his mustache? Oh, his lips. Oh, because he's bleeding. His mustache is crooked. Upon further inspection, there's glue on the underside. He is! It is! He is in disguise! Wow, maybe it is Sherlock Holmes. Also, why isn't he wearing a Sherlock Holmes jacket and hat? A spy? I don't know if you were here the last time we played this, but he was wearing a like deerstalker hat and like a little Sherlock Holmes jacket too. Like he wearing Sherlock Holmes outfit. He's a mystery writer. So I don't know. We were under the impression that he was actually Sherlock Holmes in disguise, but then was still wearing his Sherlock Holmes clothes for some reason. He just disguised himself as Chinese for unknown reasons. But he's in disguise at the very least, whether or not he is Sherlock Holmes. The mustache shape looks Western, not Han Chinese. Oh. Is he actually a Chinese man trying to disguise himself as Sherlock Holmes? Apparently, the deceased is wearing a fake mustache. Lips. Fake mustache. Lips isn't even a body part. It's not even labeled. If someone reads this external autopsy report, they won't know what we're talking about. They'll be like, lips. Where are the lips at? Who knows? What is the point in labeling all the body parts if we're just not gonna... Collar. There's white powder on the collar of the deceased. It is Sherlock Holmes! He's doing his drugs! We were talking about this too! Oh my god, it's all coming together. Feels like something made from glutinous rice. These are crumbs from the rice cake. Okay. Or that. Yeah, could be cocaine. Or rice cake. Seems that Lope had eaten a rice cake before he died. We also ate a rice cake before he died. And we were poisoned from our rice cake. Was he poisoned from his rice cake? Traces of white powder. Suspected rice cake. I don't know. It might be some cocaine. Jelly donut / rice cake. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Hair. Limbs. There were no abnormalities found on the limbs of the deceased. Okay, I guess to be fair, not everything can be cool and have something going on. No hesitation wounds or defense wounds are present on any part of his body. Okay. Ooh, knowledge unlocked. More knowledge. Okay. Wow. We're just unlocking all the knowledge. That is quite peculiar. It is. It is. Very peculiar. I mean, obviously this is a point of interest. Big brain, no longer smooth. We have knowledge. His chest is stained with blood. Among the 3 evident stab wounds, 2 were fatal. The wound is small and deep. The shape of the wound is consistent with the blood-stained dagger. The locations of the 3 stab wounds are irregular and in different directions as well. 3 fatal stab wounds. The deceased is in his undergarment, and his coat is gone. Yeah, it was his Sherlock Holmes coat. I've searched the entire room for it, but it is nowhere to be found. If this room is a locked room, how could the coat disappear into thin air? Outraised. Disappearing coat? Ooh, verified. We're done. A new clue. Death by stabbing. No defense wounds. Wore a fake mustache. Only dressed in undergarments. Hair smelled of camphor. Blah, blah, blah. Obviously we know. I have completed investigations of the corpse. I need to reconsider relative clouds of doubt. Okay. Look at the plate where the rice cakes were. There were a few of them when we ate one. So. Mind cough at some point. The same type of vibe. Maybe I'll look into it. There are a bunch of games kind of like this, but This one was just new, so I decided to try it out. There were several pieces of rice cakes on the plate, but now they are all gone. Yep, they're all gone. For the desk. Lope's desk is placed in front of the window. When I met him last night, he was bent over his desk writing the entire time. He was. Let me take a look at what he has on his desk. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Quit moving around. I need to examine the desk and see if there are any clues. Who knows if there are any unpublished manuscripts sitting on the desk? You can't just go snooping around and touching stuff. Officer Mog, I understand your concerns, but I merely wish to investigate. I'll be careful. You better be. I'll be keeping a close eye on you from right here. Okay. Crime scene investigation. So dramatic. Okay. Okay. What are we doing? Why is my cursor a pen? Candle. A common white glazed candlestick. Looks red. There is still half a stick of unburned candle on top. Oh, this is the candle. This is the candlestick. Okay, it's fine. Half burned. Is it a 12-hour? Because this is how they did, you know, told time at night in the olden days. In ye olden times, they had like a candle and like it was marked for every hour and the wax would like burn down a certain, like at a certain rate. And so they'd have like a 12-hour candle and then like, you know, when it had burned down to a certain hour mark, you know, they knew kind of how much time had passed. And like other than that, during the day, they could use sundials and stuff. But at nighttime, they had to use like candles and things. And they told time from the candles. Oops, didn't mean that. Okay. Okay, what about these brushes? What's up with them? A rack of 4 calligraphy brushes hanging on it. A piece of oil paper underneath the rack. The ink on one of the calligraphy brushes has not dried out yet. Okay. What's this? A simple square-shaped inkstone. There are several plum blossoms engraved on one side. Oh, so pretty. There is a layer of residual ink on the inkstone that is starting to harden into a gelled state. Okay. This brush is still wet. This ink is starting to dry. Yeah, jelly ink. A stack of books on the table, including The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. It's all coming together. What does it mean? Yeah, not a coincidence. Can't be. Can't be. Like we saw on the TikTok. If it's 2, it can be a coincidence. But 3 or more, it is not a coincidence. It's the universe sending us signs. Here's a book called Tales of the Moon Colony. There are several magazines underneath it, all of which are illustrated fiction. A stack of newspapers, various issues of the Shanghai News, have all published Lope's works. What if all of this isn't even real? We're up to 2 or 3. Well, he was wearing Sherlock Holmes clothes. He was in disguise from the mustache. Sherlock Holmes books here. So that's already 3. At least. I feel like there's other things to conclude him being Sherlock Holmes, or that suggest it, but you know, we'll see. But what if this whole thing is staged? Because he knows we came here to ask him about locked room mysteries. So he's the sort of teacher to teach through experiential learning. So instead of just telling us about closed room mysteries, he staged one for us. And so we're going to investigate it and we'll learn how they work through this investigation. And then at the end, he's going to wake up and go, haha, I see I am a wise teacher and I have taught you. That would be weird. What do we have in here? There's a pile of blank rice papers in the drawer with a paperweight placed on top. Next to the papers are 2 new pens, 3 candles, and a box of matches. There is also a small box. It is an ink cartridge made of tin, holding a half-used ink block. Is this any different? No. Okay. frame on the window that would stop a person from climbing in or out. No traces of scaling. Okay. That'd be a twist. Yeah. Yeah. What did he say? It seems like something is missing from the table. Oh no. A doubt raised. What's missing from the table? What he was working on, maybe? Okay, hold on. I'm not done investigating. I want to look in the wardrobe. But we'll look over here too. Okay, let's look at the bed. There are piles of old books underneath the novelist's bed. Oh. Well, I mean, we already kind of poked the body a little bit. So, I mean, he does have stab wounds. And, like, it's deep. So, presumably, we've investigated the depths of the stab wound in his chest. But I don't know. Sherlock Holmes could pull that off. You could stick your finger in a 4-inch stab wound and then he'll wake up and be like, haha, I did something. I don't even know. Poked it before we could, yep. Well, they're saying it was us. Because we woke up next to him. Because we came the night before to meet with him. We also have an assistant who's off somewhere else. We came to meet with him. We showed up. He's like, I'm busy writing. Here, in the meantime, eat a rice cake. So we ate a rice cake, but it was poison. So we fell down. Hey, Odin. And we fell down because we were poisoned and we passed out. And then when we wake up, because these guys barged in, and we wake up, he's laying down next to us with a stab wound, and we're holding the knife. Right? So, they blamed us because they were like, you're next to the stabbing victim with a knife in your hand, a bloody knife in your hand. Clearly you did it. It was the butler. I don't know. It could be this crying person. I don't know who they are. Is this it? There was like a woman. So on our way in, before I parted ways with the assistant, there was a like woman, I think, crying outside. And like we were like, hey, what's wrong? And she just like ran away. So, you know, maybe that has something to do with something. I don't know. Here's a crying person. I think this is his assistant though, but I'm not sure. Anyway, these books are all covered in dust, which means that he has not read them in quite a while. Okay. You know what? It's fine. I mean, you can't read every book all the time. A walnut bedside table. There are books and several old newspapers on top. Within the bedside table are undergarments and such. One of these newspapers carried the news of Lope publishing his novel. The photo on this newspaper. It's not of him? Oh, okay, never mind. The one on the left is Lope, and the one on the right seems to be the lady. Oh, it's the lady we saw. Hey, Drunk Monkey. It's the lady we saw. Yeah, that was the one crying. According to this, the young lady is Liu Picheng, an editor who helped Lope publish his books. And see, look here, he's wearing a Sherlock Holmes outfit. Plot thickens. It does indeed. It does indeed. Let's check the wardrobe. A wardrobe slightly taller than a person. It is locked. Let me try to pick the lock open. I give up. If only Afu was here. He is very skilled in things like this. Can we send for him? I know they're not going to let me leave, but like, maybe they can send for him. Okay, let's talk to this person. Lo Shiwen. Okay, I was like, his name is Lo too. Surely he's related. Anything new with the plot? We got a bunch of clues. We're investigating. We got some clues, but some interesting ones. Well, look here. His mustache is fake, by the way. That's a big thing. He is in disguise. And these books right here on his desk, Sherlock Holmes books, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. It's coming together. Uncle, now that you're gone, I am truly alone. I am sorry for your loss. In order to uncover the truth, I need to ask you a few questions. You're the one who murdered him. There's no need for your crocodile tears. Someone murdered your uncle and framed me. I am sure you would like to find out the truth as much as I do. Go on and ask them. Okay. Let's ask suspicious people. Sherlock cosplayer. Yeah, maybe. Or he's Sherlock disguised as a Sherlock cosplayer. He would love to dress like that when you think about it. He's just arrogant enough. With your uncle's interpersonal relationships, Have you ever noticed someone suspicious? Aren't you the most suspicious person? Then let me pose this question differently. Did your uncle hold any grudges against anyone? My uncle was very friendly, but he held some kind of grudge against Young-er, the errand runner. What kind of grudge? Young-er attempted to steal coins from the table during a delivery, but my uncle caught him. Young-er was seized by the government and got beaten for it, too. Yeah, could see. Yeah, because he would. Sherlock would do that. Typical Sherlock Holmes. When did this occur? It was about half a month ago, so I'm sure he's still bitter about it. Do you suspect that Young-er murdered him out of vengeance? After all, he's the one who delivers rice cakes to my uncle. Also, when I arrived here this morning, he was already here. I don't know how long he'd been. Now that I recall, he did have a sort of sneaky look on his face. It seems that it is necessary to talk about this issue with Young-er. Go on and ask. Oh, we're just going back to the same thing. That's kind of awkward. Just okay. Events of this morning. Please tell me about the events you encountered this morning. Every morning, I come by my uncle's place to help him with jobs that he's too busy to deal with. There has to be someone to take care of mundane tasks like cleaning up and feeding the chickens. What do you do for a living? My uncle pays me. I also help him organize his manuscript sometimes. Why is that in red? I understand. Please continue recounting what happened this morning. I came to visit Uncle, like usual, but I couldn't hear a sound from the room, which was strange. Ooh, flashback. When I arrived, I saw Young-er was already here. He said that he didn't see my uncle either. I knocked on the door, quite a while, but no one answered. I have a sensitive nose, so I kept sensing the smell of blood coming from inside the room. I don't know about that. That's kind of, there's not that much blood, okay? There's not that much blood. I don't think you could smell it. Are you a vampire? Is he a vampire? I felt like something was terribly wrong, so I told Young-er to hurry and get someone. When we finally entered the room, I found that my uncle had been murdered. I think I have no more questions. Thank you very much. Okay. Alright, I don't know what talking to these guys does, so I want to make sure. Okay, F, we can look at this. Okay. So these are our points of doubt. Or whatever it is, yeah. Okay, and then tab is our items. Our evidence. These are our characters. Ooh. Oh, we're 22. Okay. He was 39, novelist. Extremely talented detective fiction novelist. Okay. Young-er. 35. What? He delivers rice cakes, but claims that he knew nothing of the knockout drugs. Did we even ask him yet? Lope once delated him. What does that mean? For stealing money. I don't... What is that supposed to even be? I don't know. Is that even a word? Am I stupid? Am I the problem? Okay. Why is he suspicious? Okay, these are facts, and these are our knowledge. Let's look at our facts. Fun random facts. Let's learn things, guys. The Chinese word for detective appeared in the Song Dynasty, which is 960 to 1279 at the latest. Originally used as a verb meaning to inspect and inquire, the word was later developed to also be used as a noun. For example, the arms mentioned in the Memorandum for the Reprisal of Matters in G-Town, written during the Ming Dynasty, included detective, which is equivalent to scouts in modern times. By the end of the Qing Dynasty and the beginning of the Republic of China, with the emergence of large quantities of detective fiction, such as Detective World and the Stories of Sherlock Holmes, the term detective had evolved to refer specifically to investigators working on a case. Also, before detective and scout were kind of like the same word, which makes sense. I can see that. Late Qing Dynasty, detective fiction. Yep, and that's when that must be where we're at in the late Qing dynasty. By the end of the Qing dynasty, under the influence of an intervention of new ideas, Chinese people were increasingly eager to explore Western culture. During this time, novels easily became new favorites due to their accessibility and widespread publication, amongst which Western detective fiction, with its intricate plots and ingenious case designs, became the top choice for the majority of people. The stories of Sherlock Holmes was a big hit ever since it was first translated into Chinese and published in the Current Affairs newspaper in 1896. Oh, so China, big Sherlock Holmes fans. Delate just said to bring a charge against. Oh, okay. I've never heard that used. Tales of the Moon Colony. Tales of the Moon Colony can be rated as the ancestor of Chinese science fiction. Written by Huangjiang Jiaosu. Is that it? Huangjiang Jiaosu was serialized in illustrated fiction between 1904 to 1905 with a total of 35 chapters and no ending. The subject of the novel is a peculiar balloon in which the main character travels across the sea in search of his wife and children, whilst encountering aliens from the moon. This novel combines the vernacular style of traditional novels with the essence of science fiction, creating a work of high artistic value in the late Qing dynasty. Oh, that sounds cool. There's ancient Greek. It kind of reminds me of ancient Greek stuff because they had a thing with moon people as well in ancient Greece. Kind of reminds me of that. Okay, knowledge. What did we learn? Right, we learned about the blood patterns last time. Cast-off pattern blood stains are created when blood is released or thrown from a blood-bearing object in motion onto a surface. Linear or arc-shaped in general, they are often distributed on surfaces situated in higher locations, such as the upper end of the wall and ceilings. At times, the same cast-off pattern bloodstain will span across two surfaces, i.e. the ceiling and the wall and the floor, etc. That makes sense. So if you have this blood pattern, it's not like it's coming straight from the wound. It is from some sort of knife or something that moved and splattered. Did not come directly from the wound. It came from some sort of other instrument that was bearing the blood. That's interesting. Makes sense. Hidden moon base. Nah, I think they're people native to the moon. At least in ancient Greece they are. Hesitation. Why are they on the wrist like that? That's not how you do it anyway. Hesitation wounds, also known as tentative cuts, refer to a series of self-inflicted shallow cuts made by people considering a suicide attempt before the final cut that causes death. Oh, interesting. These non-lethal cuts may be due to psychological contradictions. That's why they're not going the right direction. Trying out the weapon to test its sharpness, experiencing feelings of pain, etc. Interesting. And then defense wounds. Yep, fun forensics. We're learning. Defense wounds refer to the injuries inflicted upon the victim when resisting an attack from the assailant. There are generally two types of defense wounds: incised wounds on the palms and finger joints, penetrating wounds on the palms and arms. Okay, so the palms of incised wounds on the palms and finger joints, penetrating wounds on the palms and arms. What's the difference? Like, I see the difference, but like, I don't understand what they indicate differently. Defense wounds don't appear in every homicide case. However, the presence of a defense wound, especially multiple defense wounds, must be key evidence of murder. Oh, okay. So we don't have any defense wounds on this body. So it's not, we're missing a key evidence of murder. But I don't think we need defense wounds. Ooh, look at our outfit. Look at our outfits we can unlock eventually. Yeah, they didn't fight. Well, yeah, but what's the difference between the two, though? Like, there's two types. The ones on the incised wounds on the fingers and palm, and then penetrating wounds on the palm and arms. And I'm not exactly sure what that means. Like, why are those separate types? Right? Like, I know. So that's what I'm not sure about. But yeah, they didn't fight back. So, but like, not all murders you have to fight back. Like, because again, he might have it looks like he had a rice cake, to be completely honest. So obviously he wouldn't fight back because he had already eaten one of the poisoned rice cakes. But That doesn't make sense. Why would he eat a poisoned rice cake if we ate a poisoned rice cake and fell down? And then he's like, let me try. Where did we get hesitation wounds from? It doesn't sound like there were hesitation wounds. But maybe that's why we're ruling out suicide, perhaps. Okay. I'm not a fan of this one. Not really a fan of this one either. This one's nice and simple. I like it. I like it. I like a button-up shirt with rolled-up sleeves. That always looks really nice. Covering all bases, yeah. This is also really nice. I like the scarf. I like the scarf and I like the coat. I'm not a fan of the suit, right? I don't really like a blazer as much, but I like a good coat. Casual Friday. Yeah, yeah. I like a button-up with rolled-up sleeves. It's always very attractive on this. And then a coats and scarves also very attractive. This, it's not really my thing. I'm just not Chinese. This just doesn't fit. You know, I don't know. I don't kind of have enough cultural familiarity to really get a vibe off of this. I just look at it and I go, ah, yes. Chinese, probably. I don't even know. I don't know if people, if any other South Asian countries wear things like this, or I'd probably assume Chinese, but could be other. I don't know how necessarily to distinguish all of the different Asian outfits. I know it's not Japanese is all I know, but the fedora, yeah. Fedora's pretty cool too. Without it here is also very nice. This is like his, yeah, somehow he puts on the hat and we're in detective mode. He's working. But this is like him off duty, right? This is off duty. Shang, whatever her name is. Second one is your favorite. This one's pretty good too. I like both of them. Hard to tell. You know, this is my favorite work outfit, and this is my favorite like normal outfit. So this one we get after completing chapter 6, and this one we get after completing chapter 2. Some scenes do not support outfit changes due to story settings. Well, that's stupid. Being imprisoned, the detective was left with only... Don't! Spoilers! Spoilers! Okay, we can't look at any more outfits, because there's so many spoilers. Oh, so it's just the dialogue. What is her name again? Oh, it does show her name. Okay, great. Oh, here's her name. Shen Chongping. Okay, that's our name. Shen. Or Shen. Meeny, meeny, miny, mo, yep. Okay. So this is nothing good. Okay, let's go back to this stuff then in our F menu. Okay. Did Lo Pei commit suicide? No, because there's no hesitation wounds, so probably not. I did not find any hesitation wounds on Lo Pei. That is very unusual for a suicide case. There are no injuries caused by a fight or a fall. It is also quite unusual for a homicide case. Perhaps this can explain why there aren't any defense wounds present. What? The rice cake. The reason why there weren't any defense wounds was because Lo Pei ate the rice cakes that contained knockout drugs. The same ones I ate. Yeah, but why did he do that if we already ate it? And he was in a state of unconsciousness when he was murdered. There must have been another person in the room at that time. That person is the murderer. Who could it have been? I need to do his voice. How were they able to leave the locked room? No, he was murdered. The room was locked from the inside. How did the murderer leave? I hung the door latch myself. I hung the door latch. Lo Pei and I were the only ones inside until Officer Ma broke in. Did he forget that he poisoned them or something? How could he forget? We were laying on the ground. And he probably didn't poison them. I mean, well, his rival, right? That, like, guy, Yang he's the one who brings the rice cakes. And he probably poisoned them. But the only way to enter or exit the room is by going through the wooden front door. I mean, probably not, because that's obviously like a red herring, probably, but... How did the murderer leave the scene without removing the door latch? Or perhaps the other way. How did the murderer latch the door from the outside? A disappeared coat. The room was locked. The coat could not just disappear into thin air. The fact that the coat of the deceased is missing is particularly odd. Assuming Ma was honest before they arrived on scene, the room was locked with no way in or out. Sure, it wasn't he knocked him out. I'd treat myself with a little snack. I suppose that could happen. Then, this coat must definitely still be inside this room. Yeah, that wardrobe that you keep saying is just a little bit taller than a man. I should talk with Lope's relative. I need to obtain more information on the coat. I'm just thinking, he's a Sherlock Holmes fan. What if the code for the wardrobe is 1896 when they first got Sherlock Holmes in China? Because the thing is, it looks like a 4-digit code. Unusualness of the desk. Seems like something is missing from the desk. Does it though? It's just a space in the middle. Sometimes people like to keep an empty space on their desk. Nothing useful on the desk. However, I felt something was unusual about it. It seems like something is missing. What could it be? Grudge between Lope and Young Er. That Young Er killed him out of revenge? Lo Shi-wen stated that Young Er was responsible for delivering rice cakes to Lope. Theoretically, Young Er had the chance to tamper with the rice cakes. He also had the motive. Could it be that Young Er killed him out of revenge? I need to confirm this issue with Young Er. Okay. Let's talk to Officer Ma. I can't believe Lord would allow you to join in on investigations. Don't even try to play any tricks. I'm watching your every move. Rest assured, officer, I will uncover the actual murderer. You better. Keep in mind, I don't mess with the crime scene with your incompetence. Alright. In order to find out the truth, I would like Officer Ma to answer a few of my questions. Go on then, ask away. Events before I awoke. Officer Ma, were there any other people present when you arrived on scene? What happened? Why are you asking so much? Are you trying to say I didn't protect the crime scene? Let me give you the facts. Everything is exactly the way it was when we arrived. No one's allowed to mess with the crime scene under my watch. You misunderstand me, Officer Ma. I just want to know what happenings occurred before I awoke. Flashback. When I got here, Lo Shi-wen was shaking the door, saying he smelled blood coming from inside. I was worried about Master Lo, so I went up to the door and kicked it right open. After that, well, you know what happened after. I suppose no one could have come in or gone out during that period. Obviously, I've got a soldier standing guard outside the courtyard. We searched the entire premises, but we didn't find others during which no one left either. That's why the murderer's definitely you. Who else could it be, huh? I understand. Once I complete my investigations, I will explain everything to you, Officer Ma. Go on then, ask away. Lope's relation. Officer Ma, it seems you admired the victim. Well, of course. Master Lo was a great novelist. Everybody respects him. Does Lope have any relatives? His wife died young and they had no children. He's got a good-for-nothing nephew, though. Over there, the one who won't quit sobbing. Yeah, it's a little suspicious. He's crying awfully hard. I mean, I guess he knows him, but he just said he's a good-for-nothing. And to be fair, if his only job is just running little errands for his uncle, you know, I mean, I'm not saying he's not a good-for-nothing, but, you know, still. Yeah, it's a little sus. Stop crying already. I'm sick of that awful noise. Like, what are you crying so much for, bro? Like, you're being a little over the top here now. Now I'm a little suspicious of this. All right. Uh-huh. Go on and ask. Okay, I have no more questions. still have a dot thought. Sure, they were like, oh, okay, yeah. We just don't have it. Okay. I thought maybe more would come up. Okay. Talk to Judge Chang? Chong? Is it Chong or Chang? We'll do Chang for now. I can't forget. I kind of forget which one it is. Chang, right? Judge Chang. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary when you arrived? It's Chong? Oh, okay. And what's this? How is this one different than this one? Chung? And Chong. Chung? Chong? Is that... Mandela effect? Okay, is it Chang then? Is it just Chang? Eh? They make that sound? They don't do that sound in a lot of languages, so I'm kind of like hesitant. Chang? Okay. I'm sorry to any Chinese people if I mispronounce things. I'm so sorry. It's a hard language. Well, I was not aware of anything unusual. Lo Shiwen shook the door. Officer Ma kicked it open, and we found you and Lo Pei covered in blood. Can I tweak your mustache? Is yours real? I'm now suspicious of everyone's mustaches. Playing the game for the character, 2 names. I mean, they all have, they're just first and last names, you know? They just have different names. I suppose no one suspicious was discovered during that process. Well, none at all. What kind of person was Lo Pei? Lo Pei gained great fame when his book, Chamber of Doubts, was serialized in the Shanghai News. Shanghai News. Yeah, Shanghai, so Chang. Ang. As the first celebrity to come from this town in decades, naturally he was loved by all. This town was originally named Qingxi Town. To comply with popular will, we renamed it Pero Town. Why? What does that mean? Alright, I understand now. Yeah. The judge is Chang. We're Chong. I guess. Chung. I don't know. Yeah, that's the confusing part. Is I'm just bad at some of the pronunciations. We'll say Chang though. I'll just be horribly American. We'll say Chang. And whatever. Okay. Anything else to say to him? Are we done? Am I allowed? I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to exit. Judge, is there anything? Yeah, okay, this is the same stuff we just said. Did we get more clues? No. Can I talk to him again? I'm a little suspicious. Don't sweat it. Yeah, I'll try my best. Oh, okay, yeah. We have Lo Pei's appeal. Your uncle's attire coat, deerstalker, and false mustache was quite unusual. Okay. The hat and mustache were all characteristics of his novelist identity. He purposefully dressed himself up this way to become famous. So that ill-fitting strange coat was also one of his characteristics. Strange coat? You mean that western wind coat he wore all the time? Precisely, the wind coat made of silk. Oh, Sherlock Holmes isn't made of silk. The tailor-made coat was one of my uncle's characteristics. He spent a lot to hire the best tailor and use the best fabric for the coat, but it turned out the fact that this wind coat is not present at the crime scene is what caught my attention. So you're saying that my uncle's coat disappeared into thin air? What's that face for? Perhaps the murderer took it with them. The way you said it, Mr. Shen, sounds as if it were a plot from a novel. Options update. Okay. According to Lo Shihuan, this coat was tailor-made for Lo Pei. The coat was one of the characteristics of Lo Pei's novelist identity. He always wore it. Something of such importance ought to be left at the scene. However, it is no longer in this room. The murderer is the only person who has left this room. He must have taken the coat with him. Unless someone else came in and left. You never know, that could happen. Maybe a whole troop of people has been in and out one after the other for all we know. Maybe everyone's good at unbarring and rebarring the door. Or maybe a whole clown car of people is in this wardrobe behind us taller than a person like we keep talking about that we have no idea what's inside it. The murderer must have had a reason to do so. Maybe he just liked it, man. It was expensive. You know? I don't know. But maybe because it had incriminating evidence. Suspicious. Okay, nothing new here. Stop talking. Okay. Can we talk to Officer Ma? Silk is valuable. That's true. Is it as valuable in China, though? Because, like, it's valuable in the West because it has to be imported from China. And the whole Silk Road is quite a trek and ordeal. I don't know if it's quite as valuable in China. I feel like they have a lot more silk there. I mean, this is only 100 years ago or so. Like, a little over 100 years ago. Like, around 1900, maybe. Okay, this isn't new either. Yeah. Well, what do we have to look at? Can we talk to him some more? Repair olives, that's what it said. Okay, no. I don't know what else to look at. Are we allowed to go outside? So go to something having to do with the black market and the dark web. I mean, that is a Silk Road, yes. I don't... Are we allowed to exit? Oh, he just lets us- they just let us leave? Oh. Oh, it's Afu! Shen, I've been waiting for you. Oh, it's young Oh, interesting to see him up close. Okay, whoa, that's... Yeah, he is very steampunky looking. You gotta run, or yeah, we're ready to run for it. Screw this place. I can't solve this mystery. I'm out of here. I heard there's been a murder in that house. His Honor has orders His Honor has orders that there is to be no shouting at the crime scene. Whoops. You didn't see the shrug. Wait, you can't see the shrug, but... Shen, you don't look very well. Is everything alright? I am fine. However, I am afraid I will have to stay here until the truth is uncovered. Have you found the murderer? Who is the prime suspect? Man looks like he hates his life. The guard, yeah, or this guy. Both of them do. Everyone here hates their lives, apparently. It's because their famous novelist has died and they're sad now. At the moment, the prime suspect is me. I can't believe the murderer was actually you, Shen. Let me help you. His little hand. No. His Honor has orders that random people aren't allowed to enter. Soldier, I am not just some random person. Please pick the lock on the wardrobe for us, Afu. His Honor has orders that I need to guard this gate, so you aren't allowed to enter. Soldier,
张大人
Judge
让你守
Chang
住院
asked you to guard the
门，
gates
是为了
and
拦
keep
住那
out
些
those
与查案
uninvolved
无
in
关
this
的人，对
case,
吧？
right?
这
You're not
是
wrong.
若是与案子有关的
If
人，
someone is relevant,
理应让
should
他
he
进
be
来，
allowed to enter?
这样才不会。
That's
老
true.
爷，
兵老爷，沈先
Soldier,
生不幸成
Shen
为
is
此案的嫌疑人，
unfortunately a
正
suspect
殚
in this
精竭虑
case.
地调查
He's
真
trying
相
to，clear his name.
而我是他的助手。
As I am his
那你说
trustworthy
我是不是与
as
查
I
案有
am
关？
his trustworthy assistant. Don't you think that I am also involved in this case?
啊，明白
I
了。
get it now.
兵老爷
I
果然是
knew
明白人。
Soldier would understand.
你是帮凶
With？some random person with glasses. This is cool. Yeah. Afu staged it. Yep. I don't know. Now, well, Afu never entered. Afu never entered, though, is the thing. As far as we're aware. But he's our trusted assistant. He would never. He would never. Look how sweet he is. He's such a sweet boy. You're the accomplice. Soldier Chen. He's a sweet boy. Do not just listen to
帮
me.
凶与查案
The accomplice is also involved
也
in
也有关。
investigations.
你进来吧，
You
接受
come in
调
and
查，
be investigated.
不能
Yeah, sure, sure.
不能耽误了查案。
Investigations can't be delayed. Yep. Afu, come on, and pick this lock for us.
大致情
No,
况
not to the
就是这样。
gallows. No, it's not guilt. He's not guilty. He's a sweet boy. You see a bright little smile of his. And that is a general situation.
这就是你对案子的评价。
So, okay, I said he had a bright smile and everything, and then he just does the sighing thing. But you know what? Ignore that. Ignore that. That was not typical of him, clearly. That's out of character. Okay, he's just going through something right now. So that is your evaluation of this case?
哪里？
Nope.
我只是
Is
在
it
感
just a
慨自
sigh
己
for
成为帮
becoming
凶
an
这件。
accomplice?
能让你进来就不错了。
It was good enough that they
赶紧帮我
allowed
查
you
现
to
场。
come in. Hurry up and help me investigate.
好嘞。
Okie dokie. He says okie dokie. What type of murderer or accomplice would say okie dokie? Besides all of them, because that's an insane thing to say. And they probably would do it. Guilty until proven innocent? No. Because then it would be us too. We're the prime suspect. We're the prime suspect here.
什么人？
I knew they would
竟
say
敢擅自
something
闯
about
进来！
this. Who goes there? Who gave you the nerve to break in?
张知县，马捕头，
Judge Chang, Officer Ma.
这位是阿
This
福，
is Afu,
是我
my
的助手。
assistant. Please allow
希
him
望
to
二位能
assist
允许
me.
他协助我
He
调
is an
查此案。
assistant, so he should assist. That
能
makes
让你
sense.
查案已经是不
We
利
already made an exception by
弄来个什么
allowing
助手？
your
简直
investigation,
是
and
得
now
寸
an
进尺。
assistant.
阿福擅长痕迹比
He
对
is
和一些机关
mechanically
技巧，
minded and is skilled
一定
in
会对查案
comparing
有帮助。
traces. He will be of great help.
嘿嘿，那叫格
That's
致
called
学。
science. Okay, buddy.
马捕头，用人
Clear your
不
doubts,
疑嘛。
Officer Ma.
既然已经
Since
让
we've
沈
already
先生
allowed
查
Mr.
案
Shen
了
to join in
就
our
按他的
investigation,
习惯
let
来
him do
吧。
things his way. Who lets the prime suspect investigate? I
多
mean,
谢
I'm
知县大人。
sorry, but I get that we're a detective, so it kind of makes sense. But also, when the detective is the prime suspect, maybe they shouldn't be the lead investigator of the case. Just saying. You have my gratitude, Your Honor. If you
就是
fail
查不
us,
出真
I'll
相。
add obstruction of official
再加一条
duties to your
妨害
list
公
of crimes. Okay, buddy. I mean, I get it. I get why you're so mad, but... Obstruction of official duties. According to the new criminal code of the Qing dynasty, the specific stipulations of the obstruction of official duties are any person who commits atrocities or coercion when an official is performing their duties shall be sentenced to a set term of imprisonment within the 4th degree, serve detention, or pay a fine of 300 yuan or less. The same applies to those who commit atrocities or coercion or use deception to influence officials to impose or remove certain sanctions or resign. Off with his head. No, no. Alright, buddy. Wardrobe. Hey, what? Wardrobe. Afu, this wardrobe is locked. Do you think you could find a way to open it? Can he stop doing that? I'm tired of it now. What is that? No problem. This kind of bolt pin spring lock is a piece of cake. I will leave it to you then. What you doing touching that wardrobe for, you punk? I thought I told you not to mess with the crime scene. Officer Ma, this wardrobe is one of the few remaining blind spots. If this leads to an error in the investigation, surely no one would want to see that outcome. Of course, due diligence is crucial to this case. You better be careful when you're opening that. Don't worry, Mr. Officer. I'm an expert on locks. Okay. Probably a secret door. Ooh, that could be it too. I was just expecting a person. Oh wait, what am I doing? Uh-oh. Ah. He's doing an order? Nope. Bam. Lock picked. A body. No, we already have the body over here on the floor that I'm blocking currently, but... Aha! I did it! Yeah, you did. Thanks for declaring that. Crime scene investigation! Look, Shen. It looks like someone hid inside this wardrobe before. Partition board removed. Clothes piled. Enough space for one to hide. Dun dun. Special victims unit. Yeah. Could it be that the murderer once hid inside this wardrobe? Maybe. There is no rush to jump to conclusions. Let us first examine the crime scene, or let us examine the scene carefully. Okay. Bam. Whatever this is. Shen, there's a strip of cloth over here. Could this be a clue? He's so cute, but why am I making him sound so annoying? Take it out for further examination. Alright. Shen, it's a punched up strip of cloth. It was, oh, wait, it was probably used as a ribbon to tie up quilts. This ribbon is dirty in the middle. It seems to be smudged with dust. This quilt has traces of binding, so the ribbon most likely was removed from here. Why would someone remove the ribbon from a bundled quilt and stuff it inside the clothes? Indeed, it is quite peculiar. We need to record this situation. Was someone tied up at some point? Tough fabric smudged with dust in the middle, used to tie quilts, but was removed and stuffed into the clothes pile. There's something else there. Shen, what is that black spot? A wood chip. From the partition board? I don't know. They said weird stuff about seeing the grains of wood inside the bar on the front door. A bandage? It could be a bandage, but it's not dirty with like blood, I don't think. So I don't know that they would have bandaged any other sort of wound with it, but something bleeding, but maybe. All the clothes are clean. I guess a piece broke off from the partition board and landed there. No, the color and texture of this wood chip differs from that of the partition board. Yeah, I think it's the bar on the front door. I'm knowledgeable in wood. Let me take a look. Sure you are, buddy. It really is different. Let me smell it as well. The camphor wood! Wait. Is the body on the floor? Was it in the closet? Someone tied them up and stuffed them in the closet with... No, but this is camphor wood. But the wood in the closet isn't camphor wood. The front door is camphor wood. So why does the guy's hair smell of camphor? Sniff, 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 sniff. Without a doubt, it's not the same material as the partition board. Explain your deduction. Camphor wood wardrobes can repel insects and leave a lasting fragrance on clothes stored within. Oh, but the wardrobe is camphor. This isn't, but the wardrobe is. So he was in the wardrobe. That's why his hair smells of camphor wood. However, this chip has no fragrance. It's brownish and hard. It seems more like pine wood, like the front door. Why would a pine wood chip appear in a wardrobe made of camphor wood? Worth noting. We need to keep an eye out for objects made from pine wood in this house. Understood. Interesting. Can we look at the wardrobe itself? No. What about the space here? Yeah, what about the space? This seems quite odd. Shen, have you noticed something unusual? Look closely at the bottom of the wardrobe. The left side, with clothes, has collected dust. Yet the empty space to the right is unusually clean, as if it had just been wiped. Then it seems like someone cleaned this place. Completed. I don't know, we have to check the bar of wood at the door. Let's go. Examine the front door again. Pine wood! Knew it. The broken latch that hangs... Oh, okay. They haven't put it together yet. We gotta go over here, I think, and think in the middle for a minute. With our F button. Let's think about the ribbon in the wardrobe. What's up with his jaw? Oh my god, what has happened here? Hold on, I need a drink. Okay. This ribbon is dirty in the middle. It must have been used in some way to leave such a smudge. Shen, do you think the murderer took the ribbon to bind you or Lo Pei? That's a reasonable guess. However, it's chiseled, I guess. It's like something has been chiseled out of it, maybe. There are no rope marks present on both Lo Pei and me. Oh, I see. Then again, this ribbon, I can't help but feel like I have seen it before. Did we? On what? Where was it? I remember now. When I arrived last night, I saw cloth strips hanging from the ceiling. Could it be that Lo Pei was strangled to death before he was stabbed? No, because we definitely would have seen the marks on the neck. Duh, yeah. No, then there would be strangulation marks around the corpse's neck. Okay. Enough about those then. What do you mean, question mark? Dude, we know this. Shen, why is this wood chip worth investigating? How is it connected to the case? Isn't it common for something dirty to stick on a clothes? The wood chip appears between two piles of clean clothes. Also, it is made of a different wood. That's the reason why I'm so interested. Ace Attorney objection, yeah. I think somewhere in like the reviews or something, I think it says like Ace Attorney vibes to this game. I think more Danganronpa personally, but that's because I haven't played through Ace Attorney myself. But I've seen a few people play Danganronpa, so. Its relevance to the case depends on where it came from. Perhaps the wood chip came from this place. What? From this, what place? Present. What? Give him a present? What? Or present? Oh, okay, I get it. I get present, and I'm gonna present to the door. This is where the wood chip came from. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Shen, the wood chip fell from the door latch. The material and texture is a perfect match with the door latch's fracture. Well done. This may just be the key to unlocking the truth. But, very strange. How could a wood chip from the fracture of a door latch appear in a wardrobe? As the case gradually becomes clearer, the answer will come to light. The officer kicked it so perfectly it fell in the wardrobe. Maybe. Officer Ma really wants to pin it on us. I'm kind of suspicious of Officer Ma, too, but also this man who's still crying on the floor. But he is related, so maybe he is just sad. But, you know, maybe, I don't know. Okay, now what? We look at the door again? No. Okay. No. Okay. Do we talk to someone? Do we talk to the judge? No. Same thing again. Two-man operation. Oh, maybe. Maybe it was a few people. Because you do have young outside who would have poisoned the rice cakes, yeah. talk to the rice delivery guy. I'm just still surprised they let me go outside. Oh yeah, we can talk to him. Oh, we can look at the rice cakes. There's more. He's back with more of them. Hey Shen, what is this? You want to try one, Afu? I think we're done with you for today. You picked the lock for us. That's all we needed. Would you like a rice cake? These rice cakes are a local delivery. I ate a piece last night. He did! What did you pause, Shen? How did you feel after you ate a piece last night? Wait. Why would you ask that question? Well, how did you feel? What do you mean? What did you say? Why do you pause, Shen? Weren't they good or something like that? Like, how did you feel after you ate a piece? That's just a weird question to ask. Afu, what's wrong with you? I did not feel much. I ate a piece last night and lost consciousness right after. Ew, gross. Seeing your reaction, this bundle of rice cakes probably is not laced with knockout drugs. Great. Chicken. Look, Shen, there are 2 free-range chickens here. Sure, 2 chickens. Do you think they're involved in this case? I mean, I think they have to be involved. Poison, that's how I felt. Not all local specialties are good. But sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're just not used to the local foods. I heard the free-range chickens in this area have delicious meat because they walk so much. Salmonella. We have nothing to say about that. Alright. Alright, we have investigated the chickens. Oh, okay. I like how he just tells us out. His little hand. Oh, so cute. Okay. So we talk to Younger now? Okay. Hi, Younger. How are you doing? Mr. Official, when can I go? I still have some steamed buns to deliver this morning. Excuse me, who may you be? My name is Young-er. I run errands on the daily. I was the one who called the officials today. Yeah, the intrusive thoughts are completely out. We probably should not touch it. Probably. Don't want to get in any more trouble. May I ask you about the case? Of course. Everyone around knows that I'm warm-hearted, considerate, helpful, friendly. Just tell me about what happened this morning. Master Lo loves rice cakes. Every morning, Master Lo will ask me to deliver a bundle. As I specialize in errand running, my service is 100% impeccable. Everyone around knows. Just tell me about what you saw when you arrived at Lo Pei's courtyard. Usually, Master Lo is already out of bed and exercising in the courtyard, waiting for me. This morning, when I came to deliver the rice cakes as usual, I didn't see Lo Pei anywhere. I thought he probably overslept, so I hollered for him, but there was no response. I saw the gates were open, so I went inside the courtyard and put the rice cakes on the table. Then somebody called out to me. It was Master Lo's nephew, Lo Shiwen. So I went over to knock on the door, but there was still no response at all. So he went over to knock on the door, but there was still no response at all. Lo Shiwen smelled blood and asked me to call officials. I was so scared, so I ran all the way to the government office and got Officer Ma. See, 1, 2, 3, Officer Ma, Young-er, and Lo Shiwen sound like the people involved. Officer Ma and Lo Shiwen kicked open the door together while I waited outside. You mean to say that you never entered Lo Pei's house? After hearing someone died in there, my legs were scared stiff. How could I dare to go in? The nephew definitely waited for the delivery guy. Maybe. Unless, again, they're all in it together and, like, you know, they're, like, all of this is wrong. Like, all of these stories we got from them being incorrect. But I guess I trust Judge Chang. And he showed up with Officer Ma, to be fair. But maybe Officer Ma is just in on it and he wasn't here at the time, you know. And he's lying about kicking the door open. And they're lying about it being locked. Because I don't think Judge Chang tried the door, you know. After hearing... Yeah, okay. How dare you go? Okay. I was planning to leave. A soldier came and blocked the gate, so I got stranded here. I understand now, thank you. Is there anything else you want to ask? Oh, apparently 3 things, sir. You're not going anywhere yet. How much do you know about Lo Pei? Yeah, because Lo Shihuan said that he's, like, enemies. Everyone did it in Afu. No, Afu came with us. He's our bud. He's our assistant. He's not even from here. He doesn't even know anyone. Master Lo is a celebrity, and I'm just an errand runner. Since Officer Ma is familiar with Master Lo, why don't you go and ask Officer Ma about this? Oh, what do you mean by that? I caught sight of Master Lo and Officer Ma meeting in private several times, though. Boyfriends? Are they close friends with one another? However, there was one time when they got into a fight, and Officer Ma even unsheathed his blade. What were they arguing about? Yeah, secret lovers. I didn't have the guts to eavesdrop. Officer Ma was already fuming. I need to confirm the dispute with Officer Ma. Is there anything else you want to ask? Yeah, about the rice cakes, man. I got poisoned. What'd you put in them? The rice cakes Lo Pei eats are delivered by you, is that correct? Sure, I deliver them every day. Everyone around knows that I do my job seriously. I passed out after eating a rice cake last night. Apparently, it was laced with knockout drugs. What? That's... It wasn't me. I didn't do that. Don't be ridiculous. I have nothing against Lo Pei and never even met you before. Why would I do that? Did the rice cakes you delivered to Lo Pei ever pass through the hands of someone else? Crazy X went AWOL. Maybe. Had to leave for a second to make food. I don't know. What did you miss? We've kind of gone on some really crazy theories here. Officer Ma, well, according to Young Officer Ma knows, oh yeah, I don't know if you're around when we unlocked the wardrobe. Were you there for that? We unlocked the wardrobe because we found Afu, and he unlocked the wardrobe for us. And oh, okay, yeah, we walked outside, found Afu, brought Afu back in, had talked to everyone to let us bring him back in. We go in, unlock the wardrobe. Inside the wardrobe, there's like room for a person or a body. There are a pile of clean clothes, and in the pile of clean clothes is a strip of cloth that's used to tie up quilts. And apparently it had been hanging up the night before up in the rafters. And also there was a wood chip, but the wardrobe is made of camphor wood, which is what the body's hair smells like. So the body was actually probably in the wardrobe. But we haven't, but Shen and Afu haven't quite figured that part out yet. And then, and the wood chip though isn't made of camphor wood. Afu smelled it, and instead it's made of pine wood, which the bar on the front door is made of pine wood. But we don't really know what to make of that yet. We don't know how it got in the wardrobe, but we had to make food at the worst time. You stream on your phone. Yeah, you can do that. Gotta take it with you. And then we came out here to talk to Young and Young told us that he just delivers the rice cakes. He's really trustworthy. And you know, of course, according to him, and that Officer Ma is friends with Master Lo, and that they know each other. And he's seen them meeting around in secret before, except a little while ago, Officer Ma unsheathed his blade when they got in an argument. Oh, your Gramps wanted to talk. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, you should talk to him. Yeah. That's fine. See, he's caught up. He caught up. So they were meeting in secret, but then they got in an argument. So, I don't know about that. I don't know what's up between Lo Pei and Officer Ma, you know? But yeah, now we're asking about the rice cakes. And he says he didn't poison them. But, oh, also Afu took a bite of the rice cakes on the table. And we told him that we were drugged by them, and then he spit it out. But we're like, it's fine because you didn't pass out, so you're probably good. So So, anyway, I don't know. It's not important. We also investigated these chickens. They're chickens. Afu says that they're better because they're free range and walk around more so that they're tastier or something. But he didn't die. What a tragedy. Yep. I don't know why you hate Afu so much. I like Afu. I mean, I don't like his, like, haha little animation. I'm a little tired of that. I don't mind him. Look at his glasses. He's a classic 6 eyes. We only have 4 eyes. And Younger only has 2. He has 6. He's like an insect. Okay. Impossible. If something is handed to me, there's no way I'd give it to someone else. Because everyone around here knows that he does his job well. Those innocent-looking ones that are evil. No, no. Well, maybe that nephew inside, because he's still crying and it's a little over the top. But I heard he loves rice cakes. He never turned them down. Maybe it was a gift from a reader. Do you know of anyone who gifted him rice cakes? Not a clue. How about you let me go and ask Mr. Cow? Everyone around knows that I'm... No, thank you. Is there anything else you want to ask? Yeah, you apparently have a grudge against Lo Pei. Lo Shihuen told me. Young I heard that you once had a grudge with Lo Pei. Is that true? No way. Could I ever have the guts to hold a grudge against Master Lo? Lo Pei noticed you stealing his money and you were beaten at the court for it. Am I wrong? That was a misunderstanding. How could that even count as a grudge? I saw silver coins on the floor, so I picked them up and returned them to him. That's all in the past. Mr. Shen, if Mr. Shen hadn't reminded me, I would have forgotten about it entirely. That was only half a month ago. You're forgetting so soon? Could it be that you felt wronged by Master Lo, then decided to kill him out of vengeance? Oh, well, voice acted line there. She was shocked into voice acting. Way better remembering names. Well, that's because I'm reading them and saying them out loud. It's way easier. That's a wrongful accusation. I didn't even have the guts to kill a chicken, let alone a person. Maybe we should look around for dead chickens just to be sure. When you arrived on scene this morning, were there any other people around? No one. But Lo Shihuen arrived pretty much right after. I've already told you everything about my morning in detail. Do you need me to repeat myself? Oh, yeah. Sure, since they give us that option. This morning, when I came to deliver the rice cakes as usual, I didn't see Lo Pei anywhere. I thought he probably overslept, so I hollered for him, but there was no response. I saw the gates were open, so I went inside the courtyard and put the rice cakes on the table. Then somebody called out to me. It was Master Lo's nephew, Lo Shihuen. In Lo Shihuen's story, did he get there first? I can't remember. So he went over to knock on the door, but there was still no response at all. Lo Shihuen smelled blood and asked me to call officials. Because I know he called for him to go get the officials. I know Lo Shihuen said that. But... No, he did, because I know he said he called to him to go, because he said Young was here. But I don't know if he was here first or if he showed up after. Because I remember that he, was like, oh yeah, he has a grudge against my uncle. And I was like, then why were you so chill with him being here? Like, it was almost like you're on friendly terms. But I was like, oh, but he was telling him to go get help, so, and you'll put the beef aside for a while, so he seems suspicious. Yeah. You should probably call him Shihuen instead, because Lo's his last name. Because the dead guy's also Lo. Lo Pei and Lo Shihuen. So, just before we get confused. So, Shihuen. Just scared. So I ran all the way to the government office and got Officer Ma. Alright, you missed from last stream. It was just earlier this stream. When we talked to Lo Shihuen. Officer Ma and Lo Shihuen kicked open the door together while I waited outside. Did they? Officer Ma seems really proud that he did it himself. Yeah, Lo is the last name, yeah. And Shihuen is Pei's nephew. After hearing, oh, what did he say? I missed that part. We said, you mean to say that you never entered Lo Pei's house? After hearing someone died in there, my legs were scared stiff. How could I dare go in? I was planning to leave, but a soldier came and blocked the gate, so I got stranded here. I understand now, thank you. Is there anything else you want to ask? Okay, that was the same as the first time we asked. So, very interesting though that they gave us the option to ask him again. Let's go talk to Shihuen now, I think. Or no, we have things to do with F. Let's talk about this first. We have to confirm this with Officer Ma. Oh, let me get a drink. Officer Ma has been quite aggressive. It seems he is eager to identify me as the murderer. Yeah, I was saying the same thing, Shen. I was saying the same thing. Oscar. According to Young Officer Ma once had a serious dispute with Lo Pei. Could this constitute a reason for murder? I need to confirm this issue with Officer Ma. Okay. And let's talk about this. When I questioned him about the quarrel, Young seemed somewhat flustered. Furthermore, he had a chance to tamper with the Rice Kings. Maybe Young did kill him out of revenge. Okay. Yeah, nothing new there. Okay, let's talk to Lo Shihuen. In order to uncover the truth, I need to ask you a few more questions. Go on and ask them. Okay. What, where, Wait, no, maybe we can ask about, yeah, what happened? We can just re-ask them. Events of this morning, please. You've already asked me this question. Yeah, can you repeat it? Yeah. Please repeat what you have said. There are some details that I need to confirm. Please tell me about the events you encountered this morning. Yeah, he's just crying and crying. Bro, you need to hydrate. Do you have a drink? I'm a little worried about you. Every morning I come by my uncle's place to help him with jobs he's too busy to deal with. There has to be someone to take care of mundane tasks like cleaning up and feeding the chickens. What do you do for a living? My uncle pays me. I also help him organize his manuscript sometimes. Oh, should we look at the manuscript since he said that? Oh, because there's something missing from the desk. I don't know why there is. Shen just feels like there is because there's an empty spot in the middle. It's like, oh, why would this man clean anything? I understand. Please continue recounting what happened this morning. I came to visit Uncle, like usual, but I couldn't hear a sound from the room, which was strange. When I arrived, okay, never mind, Young was here, okay, was already here. He said that he didn't see my uncle either. I knocked on the door for quite a while, but no one answered. I have a sensitive nose, so I kept sensing the smell of blood coming from inside the room. Shove it all under the bed. Under the bed, we already know, is a bunch of old books with dust on them, so he hasn't touched them in a while. Empty spot on the shelf, impossible. It's on the desk, right in the middle of the desk, like where he might have stuff and then put it away and keep it free for the next time he wants to pull something else out. Felt like something was terribly wrong, so I told Younger to go and get someone. Okay, yeah, okay. When it finally entered, found a murder, blah, blah, blah. Okay, never mind. Alright, fine. Let's look at the desk, though. Already investigate this area. Yes, look at it again. Okay. Nothing weird here. Like, why are we so certain? Human arm is the, oh, I didn't realize we're doing new stuff now that we have off of here, I think. Human arm is no longer than 3 feet, but the window was more than 10 feet away from the deceased. That's easy. All you have to do is make a mechanical arm. It's 10 feet long. Maybe having Afu's feedback isn't useful here. Look at that empty spot. Suspicious. Only you could make something like that. Maybe it was Afu. Could it be? Afu, did you do it? I was just kidding. You say so. Okay. Alright, let's talk to Officer Ma. Hey, can we talk about your secret love affair with the deceased, mister? You're all over the place. You're not messing with the crime scene, are you? Rest assured, Officer Ma, I am a professional in that aspect. In order to find out the truth, I would like Officer Ma to answer a few of my questions. Go on then, ask away. Officer Ma, I heard that you once had a dispute with Lope. Could you... The audacity! How dare you suspect me? I have yet to confirm a suspect now. I also believe that Officer Ma has nothing to hide. I bet you heard this rumor from Yang didn't you? Master Lo enjoyed drinking with me and talking about my past cases, you know, from source material. But Master Lo is always listening to me. He rarely talks about himself, so I got to asking. Only then did I know how hard it is to write stuff and what he had to deal with from his fame. Yeah, being famous is rough. I was drunk and riled up, drawing out my sword to ask the gods why they'd make Master Lo suffer. Bro, really? That's why you're saying you got mad and drew your sword? Because you were mad at the gods for making him suffer? That's a little much. Kinda hard to believe, Officer Ma. He was born to put all of his talent to writing books. So is he a super fan or not? Like, I'm a little, I don't know, like, on the one, as I mean, lovers. You seem to be really into him. Yang saw us when he came to deliver something, but I didn't know he would do me dirty like that. Me? Have a fight with Master Lo? Baloney. Weird Irish throw-in. I think it's Irish. Sounds like it. Maybe it's English. I don't know. Where does baloney come from? Fanboy wannabe lover? Maybe. I don't know. Obsessed stan? Go on then. Ask away. Alright, well, we don't have any more questions, so... Let's go back to our...
沈先生
What?
你已经里里外外看了几
No,
遍
I
了
had F
也该
key.
跟张大人说说你的推理了吧
Mr. Shen, you've looked through this place. Should you explain your reasoning to Lord?
要是推不出
Quit
来
wasting
也
time if
别
you
浪
ain't
费
got a
时间
proper answer. Just
带
let
上
me
料
arrest you.
推理？现
Begin
在
my deduction. Now? Off if he's not talking to you.
先生，怎么
Shen,
办？
what do we
我
do?
们还有很多疑
There's
团
still
尚
a lot
未
of
解开。
mysteries we haven't solved yet.
院子里能调查的地方，
We have already examined all the
我们都已经查过
places
了。
that could be investigated within the courtyard.
即便真相尚未完全明
Even
朗，
though the truth is yet to be
也必
clear,
须
we
与
need
张
to
知县
discuss
聊
the
一聊
case
了。
with Judge Chang. Cute little
张大
bow.
人，
Judge
我想我们
Chang,
可以聊一聊
I
这个案
believe
子
that。we are now able to discuss this case.
既然如此
If so, you may begin. Deduction, the truth behind the locked room
死
murder.
者被发现的时候，
When the deceased
这
was
个房间
discovered,
处于密闭的
this
状
room
态，
was in a sealed off state.
墙上的窗户不能
The
进出。
window could not be
唯一的出入
opened,
口
leaving us the
是屋
front
门。
door locked from the inside.
当屋门被再次
When the
打开
front
时，
door was
屋
reopened,
内只
the
有我和
deceased
死
and
者
I
两
were
人。
the only people inside the room.
在这种情况下，
Under these
所有人，
circumstances, everyone,
甚至包括
including
我自己
myself,，
都会
would
本能地认为，
instinctively believe that
凶手就是还在
the
屋内的
murderer
人。
must be someone who is still within this room, which would be me.
这一来，
Hence,
我们便都忽
we
略
have
了
all neglected the
屋内藏有
possibility of
第
a
三个
third
人的可
person
能。
hiding inside this room.
你倒说说看
All right, then
这
tell
第
me,
三个
where
人
on earth
能
would this
藏身
third
何
person be hiding?
当然是衣柜
That
了
would be the wardrobe.
衣柜里的种
All
种痕迹都
traces
表
within the
明，
wardrobe show
就在
that
钱里面
someone was
藏过人。
hiding inside it not long ago.
屋内
There,
还藏
there
有
was
一个人
another person in the room?
沈先生
Mr.
藏
Shen,
身于衣
was the
柜
person
之中
hiding
的
in the
人
wardrobe the murderer?
便是凶手吗
No, because the body was hiding in the wardrobe because it smells like camphor wood. It was someone else. The murderer is the man that I saw last night, and the body on the floor is not the man that I saw last night. It was someone else in the wardrobe.
藏身柜子中的
The person
另有
who
其
hid inside the wardrobe was someone else.
哦
Oh,
昨晚我到的时候，这个
fake
柜子
body.
就处于从外面
When
锁
I
住的状
arrived
态。
last night, this wardrobe was already locked from the outside.
如果柜子里的人是
If
凶
the
手，
person inside was the
他是不可
murderer,
能出来
he
杀
would
人的。
not have been able to get out by himself.
柜子里的人
If
若
the person
不
inside
是
the
凶
wardrobe was not the
手，
murderer, who
那
could it have been?
昨晚到达罗佩家
Last
后，
night, I was
是
the
我自
one
己
who
从屋内挂
latched the
上了
door.
尾栓。理论上，在那以后
Theoretically,
就不太
it
可
is
能再
highly
有外
unlikely
人
for anyone
进入
else
现
to
场。
have entered the scene after that.
床下堆满了
There
书，
were books piled under the
衣柜
bed,
上了
and the
锁，
wardrobe was locked. Nothing has changed.
而且有近期藏人的痕
Evidence
迹，
points to someone in the wardrobe,
那也是当
the
时
only
屋内
place to hide.
唯一。血迹分析表
The
明，
bloodstains prove a third
案发时
person,
除了
the
我和
actual
罗佩，
murderer, was
还有
present
第
at the
三人
time
存
of the
在。
crime.
如果昨晚藏于柜子
If
中
the
的人
person
不
in
是
the
凶手
wardrobe，was not the murderer, then it could only be this
那就只
person.
可能是这个人了。
But the body wasn't, because he wasn't a body when he was in the wardrobe. He was someone else hiding in the wardrobe, or probably tied up, because he was tied up, because that's what the... No, because the string was hiding up in the rafters. Yeah, I can identify who the person was. It was the body. It was Lope. He
如果
smelled
柜
like
子藏的不是
camphor
凶
wood.
手的话
What，can I say? Wait a minute. Who was it I saw last? Wait. Is he the third person? They look kind of similar. Right? Don't they look similar? Him and the dead guy? I don't know. If you just switch the mustache around, you know? Yeah, yeah. If the person hiding in the wardrobe was not the murderer.
那就只能是罗佩了。
Oh, look at the pose. It's the pose. Then it must have been Lope.
一派胡言！
What a load of bull.
罗翁为
Why
什么要
would
躲进
Master
自己家
Lo
的衣
hide
柜里？
inside his own
懂了吗
wardrobe? Is he playing hide and seek?
那是仅存的可能
That
性
is。the only possibility left.
谢洛克曾说
When
过
you，have eliminated the
当你
impossible,
排除掉一
whatever
切不可能之
remains,
后，
however
剩
improbable,
下的即
must
使
be
在一
the
起，
truth.
也是事实真相。
You- Not that. Not that. Oh my
沈
god,
先生
no. Please don't.
罗佩藏进柜子中的
Oh,
理由
oh
是？
man. Mr. Shen, what is the reason for Lope to hide inside the wardrobe? Sort of inspiration? It was not of his own will. Let's say that. I can't imagine that he would do that.
不，
It's...
他不是
No,
自己躲
he
进
did
柜
not
子，
hide inside the wardrobe of his own will.
而是被人藏
He
进去
was
的。
hid inside by someone else.
先生，
If the
如果
person
昨晚
hiding
藏在
inside the
柜子里的
wardrobe
人
last
是
night
罗
was
佩，
Lope,
那
then
你
who
见
did
到的
you
又
meet?
是谁？
This man who looks just like him.
是啊，
Indeed,
你
didn't
不
you
是
just
刚
say
刚
that
还
you only
说
saw Lope
挂
in the
上门
room when you
栓
hung the
后，
door latch?
我想，
I believe that the
昨天
person I
晚
saw
上
in
我
this
在这
room
间屋
last
子
night
里
was
见到
not
的人，
Lope.
并不是罗佩。
Oh, but there were no defense wounds. So he was stabbed when he was passed out. He was probably passed out, then put in the wardrobe, and then stabbed here after he was removed from the wardrobe. And then stab, stab, stab. And oh, they used me. They used me. Stabbed him. And then they gave me the knife to make it look like it was me. I believe the person I saw in this room last night was not Lope,
而是凶手。
but the actual murderer.
我昨晚到达罗
When
佩
I
家
arrived
时，
at Lope's
屋内
house
灯
last
火
night,
尚明，
the candle inside was still lit,
但我敲了很久
but
的
I had
门，
knocked on
才
the
有人
door
回
for
应。
quite some time before someone responded.
在开门之前，
Before opening the
对方还
door,
特
they
地
even
确认
specifically
我们是
tried
否
to
见过面。
confirm if we had ever met before. Oh, I
既
forgot
然
that
你
part.
昨夜见到的不是罗佩
If the
本
person you met
人，
was not Lope, you
早上见到尸
how
体
couldn't you
时
recognize
又
the
怎
corpse this
会？
morning?
昨夜见面时，他压低帽檐，戴假
Last
胡
night,
子，
he wore a hat and
又有意背
mustache,
对着我，夹
had
着
his
光线
back
昏暗。
towards me, and the lights were dim.
而那时，
By
真正的
then,
罗佩
the real Lope had
应该已
eaten
经
the
吃下
drugged
戴蒙
rice
汗药的
cakes
糕
and
点。
was moved inside the wardrobe.
你刚说的这个嘛，
What you have just said
倒
does
确实能解
explain the
释
presence of a
房
third
间里
person
存在
within the
第
room.
三
But
个
there
人。
was a whole plate of rice cakes when we showed up. What happened to the remaining rice cakes? Because we didn't eat all of them. We just took a bite of one of them. And now all the rest are gone too. I mean, I guess Shihuen could have disposed of them, but what you have just said does explain the presence of a third person within the room.
马捕头，
Officer Ma,
你
what
怎
do
么
you
看？
reckon?
都是些
These are
猜
all
测吧
just speculations.
你可有证据
You
能
got
证
any
明
evidence that
藏在
proves the
柜子
person
里
who
的
was
人
hiding
就是
inside the
罗翁？
wardrobe was Master Lo? Yes, I do. Where's his hair? Oh, this. Autopsy. Submit.
这是先生对尸体进
This
行
is the
初步调查
autopsy
的结
report
果。
from our initial
它能说明很多问
investigations.
题。
You weren't even here for that, Afu. It'll answer a lot of questions.
首先，
Lopez's hair
罗佩的
smells
头
of
发上
camphor wood,
能闻
confirming
到
he
轻微的
hid
樟木
inside
香
the wardrobe.
此话怎讲？
How is that so?
这个柜子是樟
The
木所
camphor
制，
wardrobe repels
有香
insects
味，
and leaves
可
a
驱
lasting
虫。
fragrance on clothes, sort of thin.
罗佩的衣服染香，
Even if Lopez's
头发就不
clothes
该染
catch the
香，
scent, his hair should
除
not,
非
unless
罗佩在衣柜里待
Lope
过，
was inside the
并且他的
wardrobe,
头
and his head
是
was
一直
against
贴
the
着柜
partition
板的。
board the entire time.
你不要忘了，罗翁
Though
平
you
时是
forget
戴帽子，
Master Lo usually wears a hat.
那也可能是
That
帽
could
子
have
上的
just
香
been
味
a。scent from his hat.
不，
This hat has no scent.
这顶帽子上没
Coats
有
and
香
hats
味。
worn frequently don't go in
因为
the
讲
wardrobe.
嗯，
Mr.
沈
Shen's
先生的
deduction
分
is
析
indeed
确实
reasonable.
本官很想知
What
道
else，
在死
have
者
you
的尸
found
体上
on the
你
deceased?
还有什么发现？
No defense wounds.
大人请看，死者领
Oh
口有
yes,
一
I
些白色
forgot.
的
The
糯
rice
米
cake,
粉，
yes.
那是潮高的
Look
碎屑
here.。White glutinous rice powder that turns out isn't actually cocaine on the collar of the deceased rice cake crumbs.
说明他和我一样，
You
吃下
got
了
the
带有浓
crumbs,
汗药的潮
whatever,
膏。
whatever Gollum says. Right? Look at the crumbs. He's pointing at Sam and the crumbs, right? Right, just like that. This shows that, like I had, the deceased ate rice cakes that were laced with knockout drugs.
死者被人连刺
He
3
was
刀而
stabbed
亡，
3 times,
上却
yet
没有
the
抵抗伤，
absence of defense
也侧面
wounds
证实
also
了这一
proves this point.
死者贴着
What
假
just
胡
proves
子
that he was
却
murdered?
有
Well,
些
I
不
guess
好
the，absence of defense wounds, yeah, right? The
明显是被人
hesitation
摘下
wounds.
来又贴回去的缘
He
故。
wore a loose fake mustache, likely removed and reattached.
这些细节
All
都
of the
印证了
details
我刚刚
above
的
are
推论。
able to confirm my deduction.
昨天晚上，
The
我
Lope
见到的
I
罗
met
佩
last night was
是
actually
凶手假扮
impersonated
的。
by the murderer. And we're all going to stand
什么
here and
人
wonder
胆敢
who it
假扮成罗
possibly
翁？
could be. What kind of person would dress up as Master Lo?
沈先生这番分
Mr. Shen's
析
deduction does
有
hold
一
some
定道
truth.
理。
Afu.
不过，
Not Afu.
直到马
Stop.
捕头破
Stop
门
trying
而
to
入，
trying to
屋
pin it on my
子
boy.
一直处于反锁的状态。
However, up until Officer Ma broke down the door, the room was locked from the inside.
对呀，凶手
Yeah,
是
how
怎么
could the
做到
murderer walk
在
out
反
of
锁
that
门栓
room
的
when it
情
was
况下
locked
离
from
开
the
屋子的
inside, huh?
大门是唯一
The
的出
front
口。
doors are the
而
only
门栓
exit,
只
and
能
the
从屋
door
内插
latch
上
can。only be hung from inside the room. Yeah, who could possibly resemble Lope?
二位请看，这便是
Look
破
at
解
his
门栓
face.
之谜的关键证
At his
据。
face. Please have a look. This is the key evidence to solving the mystery of the door latch. This? I'm assuming it's this, but I don't really know why. It was already broken. But surely Officer Ma would have felt that he didn't break it and that he just pushed it in, right? Because Officer Ma didn't even try the door; he just kicked it. And Shi Huan was the only one who actually tried the door. Yeah, it is the wood chip, but like, I'm still trying to figure out if Officer Ma is complicit in this, because like he should have known. Like, you know when you kick open a door and break the bar versus when you just like kick it open and it's already open, right? Like, here's proof.
这是
This is a
木茶。
wood chip.
对，
That
关
is
键就在
correct.
这颗木茶上。
The key lies within this wood chip.
这我就不懂了。
I don't get it.
拆柜板的时候
Ain't it
掉
normal
落一
for
些木
some
茶在柜
stubble
子
to
里。
fall from the
不是
partition
挺
board
正
when
常的
moving
吗？
it around?
不，
No,
这不
it
正
is
常。
abnormal.
首先，
The wood chip
木
did
茶
not
并不是落
fall
在
on the
柜板上，
partition board.
而是
It
出现在
appeared
一
on
堆
a
洗净
pile
的
of
衣服中
clean
间。
clothes.
更重要的是，
More importantly, the inner
柜子内的
wardrobe
板
is made
材
of
是防
camphor
腐的樟
wood,
木，
yet this wood
而
chip
这颗
is
木茶
pine
是
wood.
松木材质。 阿福仔细比较过它的材
Afu
质和纹
carefully
理，
checked and confirmed
反而跟门
the
栓
wood
断裂
chip
处
matches
是
the
一致
broken
的。
latch.
换句话说，
And I said that, right?
就
Remember
是
when
门
we
栓
saw
断
the
裂时
latches,
崩出的木
the
茬。
latch broken open, and I was like, do those pieces connect? Because it didn't look like they connected. I'm smart. I'm so smart. This wood chip is a piece of stubble that flew off when the door latch was broken. Whoa, what was that?
在马捕头破门而入时，
As
衣
Officer
柜
Ma
明明上
kicked
着锁，
in,
刚刚才被阿
the
福打开。
wardrobe been clearly locked until unlocked by Afu just now.
这是极不正常的。
This is extremely abnormal.
这可奇怪了，
During outside.
为什么木茬会出现在
That's
衣
strange.
柜
Why
里
would the wood chip appear inside the wardrobe? I don't want to say the reason is insignificant. The reason is unknown.
是什么理由导致木茬
I
出
have
现在
yet
衣
to
柜里？
completely deduce what
现在还
caused
没
the
法
wood
完全
chip
推
to
断
appear
出来。
inside the wardrobe.
不过，
However, this
这个
issue
问题
is
在现阶段
insignificant at this stage. Oh, apparently it's
重
insignificant
要的是
anyway.
木茬
What
进
we
入
need
衣
to
柜的时
focus
间，
on is when
以
the
及这
wood
个
chip
时间所
entered the
揭示的事
wardrobe
实。
and what it uncovers.
沈先生，不要卖
Mr.
关子
Shen,
了，
don't beat around the
快告
bush.
诉本
Tell
官，
me
它
now
揭
what the
示了
truth
什么
what
事实？
truth does it uncover?
很简单，
Simply put, the
木
wood
茬
chip
会出
flew
现在
off
衣柜
the
中，
broken
说明它
flew
从门
off
栓
the
上崩裂
broken
的时
door
间
latch
比衣柜
before the
上锁的
wardrobe
时
was
间要早。
locked. Yes,
也就是说，
which means
门
that
栓
when the
断的
door
时候，
latch broke,
衣柜
the
的门还
door of the
开着。
wardrobe was still open.
先生，
Shen,
我们
the
所
most
知
recent
的
time we
最
know
近的
of
衣
that
柜
the
门还开着
wardrobe
的时
doors
间，
were open
应该是在你醒来之前
should
吧？
be before you woke up, right?
没错，
That is correct.
这
Then
这
doesn't
不
that
就说
mean
明？
说明在马捕头踹开门之
that
前，
means that before Officer
木门
Ma
上的
kicked
门
open
栓
the door,
就已经
the
断了。
latch was already broken.
换句话说，
In other words,
这根本不
it
是
is
什么
not a
密室。
locked room at all. Done. Done.
不愧是先
Afu.
生，
You're the best, Shen.
我说呢，那个门
He's
怎么
not
一脚
reading
就
the
踹开
vibe of the room at
当
all.
时还以为是房子的木头老
No
化。
wonder the door was so easy to kick open. I just thought it was shabby and old. No, you were just so proud that you kicked open the door.
凡有接触，必留痕
Chill with
迹。
your masculinity, bro. Toxic masculinity, man. All contact leaves traces.
凶手自以
The
为杀
murderer's
人嫁
plan
祸
was
计划
flawed
天衣
by a
无
wood
缝，
chip left in the
却是百
wardrobe
密一
as
疏。
incriminating evidence.
而这颗小小的木茬
He's just there to bring the
不
good
仅暴
vibes.
露了他的
He
诡计，
also smells the wood and picks the locks. This tiny wood chip not only exposed their cunning scheme,
更让我顺藤摸
but
瓜，
also allowed me
推
to
出了他
follow
的
their
真实身份。
footprints and deduce their true identity.
杀死罗佩的
The
凶手
person
就
who
是
murdered Lo Pei is the only person who actually tried to open the door and said that they couldn't and lied about it, and the person who looks just like the deceased, except for the removable mustache, is this man who looks just like him. This person just didn't help me, and Evan was
本案的凶
different.
手
Yep.
正是你，
No, it's not off
罗
him.
世文。
The murder of this case is you, Lo Shiwen.
你
You
胡说！
you lie.
我
How
怎么可
could
能？
I possibly
杀死
kill my
自
own
己的亲
uncle?
叔
I've
叔
been
呢
crying for hours on this floor.
谢老爷，
Judge
你
Chang,
得为我
please.
做主啊！
Oh, there he goes,
这
crying
一
again,
定是为了
crying
给自己
again.
洗脱罪名。
He's trying to
污
frame
蔑 我
me. No,
的。
you framed me.
这
You
个
said I had
嘛，
crocodile tears. It's you. It's you.
沈先生，你认为
Well,
罗
you
世
believe
文
that
是
Lo
本案
Shiwen
凶
is the
手？
murderer.
有什
Where
么
is the
证据？
evidence?
我们刚分析过，
The door latch
门
was
栓
not
不是在找
broken
门时
when the
被垄
door
断，
was kicked open,
而是提
but
前在屋
broken
内被垄断
beforehand. And
屋
also,
子
they
呈现
look
的
the
所谓密闭
same.
状态，不过是凶手制造的假象
The。so-called sealed-off state of the room was an illusion created by the murderer.
在整个过程中，
He appeared to
他
knock on
看
the
似是在
door,
敲门，
but he was
实
just
则是确
securing
保
it from
门不会被
unwanted
其他人
entry.
打开。
Oh, right. Right. Oh, man. Shen, you're thinking even more than me. The reason he really ran to the door and was like, oh no, I can't open it, is because he saw young outside. That's why.
直到马捕头出现并上前
Until
踹门，
Officer Ma kicked the
凶手
door,
在马捕头
that is
踹门
when
的
the
瞬间
murderer
松手，
let go of the door.
这样就能先入为主，
In this way, he
让
could
大家相
mislead
信
everyone from
屋门已
believing
反锁，
into
进
believing
而
that the
误判
door
整
was
个案
locked
件。
from the inside. Yeah, Yang never tried to open it, but he was worried because Younger was already there, right? And so when he got there, he was like, oh no, this man's here. I need to grab the door before he does, which is why he ran over to open the door. And I knew it was suspicious with his I can smell blood inside. Who do you think you are, Afu? No, you can't smell, like, this isn't a whole lot of blood. There's a little bit of spatter here and then just some bleeding around the chest. You can't smell that blood from out, all the way out past the off screen. No way, buddy. No way. Not enough blood. I didn't buy that. Yeah. Okay. I'm leaving the door open inside.
你们都被他的演
You
技
have
欺骗
all
了。
been fooled by his performance.
好啊，
Office, yeah,
你是
Afu is
白眼
an
狼。
official bloodhound with a sniffer. He's the nose of the group. Hot damn, you treacherous leech. What? I don't know if we say hot damn there. So weird.
这
Officer Vaughn, you're a
不是
little
我
weird. Wait, what? It wasn't me.
罗世文，
Lo
我
Shihuan,
必须告诉你，
I will tell you this.
你的手
You
法
were the only person who
只是一
believes
个
your
自以为
tricks
很
were
巧妙的
clever.
鬼，因为他有一个
That
软
is
肋，
because your scheme
足以
has
致
a
命。
fatal weakness.
是
What
什么软
What
肋？
weakness?
整个诡计想要
To
成
ensure
功，
the success of your plan,
你必须
you
保
had
证
to
宫门
control the door
始
at all
终出来。
times.
我据此反推便
Through
能确定，
reverse deduction, I can be sure that
罗世文，
Lo Shihuan,
你
you
就是凶手。
are the murderer.
你
You
你胡
you
说！
lie,
罗世文，
Lo Shihuan.
事到
Is there
如
anything
今，
else you want to say at this
你还
point? He's a liar,
人心
deceiver,
险恶，
a
恶意重
fibster,
伤，
and a
伤天
cheater,
害理。
phony, and a misleader. Well,
我
that's quite fun rhymes
也
you
必
got.
须要说点什么
I
了。
have something to say too.
沈先生，
Mr. Shen,
编了一个
you
故
made up a
事，
story and said a
又讲了
bunch of
一堆歪
absurd theories.
可是
Did you really see
你
it
看见它
happen?
发生了吗？
Why in the world should we
凭
believe
什么
your
让我们相信
words?
你说的就是事实？
What if I told you I was awake the whole time?
依我看，
Then what?
你才是欺骗大
Then
家的那
what?
个人。
In my opinion, you're the one who is fooling everyone.
你的这些说法，
Then what
有
evidence
什么
do you
凭据？
have for saying that? 啊 that's what I thought.
一个很简单的
Is
道
it
理。
clear and simple reason? I have
根本没有
no
动机
motive
做
to
这
murder
件
my
事。
uncle. The victim stands up.
他找得很准，
It's not off.
留给我的调查时间太短了，
Not off. It's we
我
know.
还没能
And
完
then the
全查
victim
清
stands
杀
up.
人动
I mean,
机
I。still think. I mean, so if this were still a closed murder, closed locked room murder, then like I still would be like, oh, yep, he's testing us. He's just showing us how it works. But it's not even that. So I don't know. The victim, maybe maybe Lo Shihuan was the victim the whole time, and he's actually dead right now, standing. And Lo Pei is actually alive, and they just did switcheroo, and this is like a Weekend at Bernie's situation, and he's talking through a manipulation of gases leaving his body after he died, or something. The rice cakes were magic. He got me. I barely had time to investigate. I have yet to infer the motive for the murder.
罗佩是我的亲
Pei is
叔
my
叔，
uncle, my family
我怎么
by
会想
blood.
杀他呢？
Why would I want to kill him?
更关键的问题在于，
What's more important is the
你我
problem
之间。
between you and me.
咱俩这是
This is
第
the
一次
first
见
time
面
we've
吧？
ever met. Am I right?
没错，
That is correct.
此前你我
We have
素不
never
相
met
识
each other before.
既然素不
We
相
never
识，
met.
我何
Go
苦
through
要
the
通过伤
trouble
害
of
亲叔
framing
叔
you
来
by
陷害？
killing my own uncle.
既然素不
I
相
could
识，
possibly have known
我
about
当
your
然不
visit.
可能知道你
Could
昨
I
天
design
晚
a
上会
plot
来
to
访，
frame you?
又如何能设计陷阱来栽赃你？
I think you were planning on just having it be, Inception. I think you were planning on just making it look like suicide or something, maybe. But you saw me here and you just, used it for your convenience.
我撞破你行凶，怕
It
是
was a
个巧合。
coincidence that I had surprised you in your act.
巧合？
Coincidence?
你不是说一切都是我
Or you
设
made
计
it,
好的
you
诡
wanted to
计
make it
吗？
look like it was poisoned rice cakes, or well, no, I guess that's what, you wouldn't look like that with the knife wound, but a coincidence. Didn't you just say that all of this was a plot that I had designed?
沈先生，
Mr. Shen, is it
你们
true that the
真的
two of
素
you
不
have
相
never
识？
met?
的确如此。
That is correct.
既然你俩
If
不
that's the
认
case,
识，
then Lo Shihuan
罗世
indeed has
文
no
确
reason to
实没
frame
道
you.
理陷
Dude, the
害你。
framing is clearly just convenience, okay?
先
Like,
生，
what motive do
情
I
况对我们
have
好
to
像不太
kill
妙。
Lopei? Shen, things aren't looking too good for us. Why not? Why not? Clearly the whole story fits. The body was in the wardrobe, blah, 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 blah. What do you mean?
沈先生，你
Mr.
是不
Shen,
是
could
弄
you be
错了？
mistaken?
不
No
会的，
way.
我
Shen's
先生的
deductions
推
have
理
never
从来
been
没有错
wrong.
过。推
Can
理
oh no, it's not
那
Afu.
只是你们的一面之词罢了，
Deduction? More like a one-sided statement.
证据呢？
Where's the
你
proof?
们有吗？
Do you have any? Do you
仅
think that
凭那
wood
棵
chip is
木茬
enough?
吗？
Haha. That's a lot of laughing. This is a crazy laugh right here. This is a crazy, Your Honor, Judge Chang. This man is insane. Look how many haws he has just hawed. Too many. At least 4 or 5 too many haws.
这个嘛，
Difference between framing a specific person and framing not
罗
me.
世
Yeah,
文说的
exactly.
也有一
Exactly.
点道理。
Well put. Well, Lo Shihuan also has a certain truth to his words.
沈先生，
Mr. Shen, do you have
有
any
进
further
一步的
evidence to
证
support
据
your
能
claim?
证明你的主张吗？
Do I?
如果没有证据的话，
The coat!
你确实无法告发罗世文。
Where is the coat?
要是弄错了，本
Accusing
官
him
可
without
不好
proof is
办
difficult
呐。
and risks putting me in a tough spot if you're wrong. See, I thought the coat would be in the closet still, but it wasn't in the closet, which means it's out of the room, which means it wasn't me. There has to be the third person because of the coat. Like Mandart from Desperate Laboratory Laugh, yeah. Accusing him without proof is difficult and risks putting me in a tough spot if you're wrong. I have proof. Shen, what are you panicking for? What's the little sweat mark for? Come on, we have proof, buddy. We have proof.
早
The
就听说
coat, the
自诩
coat.
侦探的人中，
Coat
也有
was
不
what
少无耻之徒。
solidifies the third person.
今
Come on.
日算是遇到一个。
There are shameless people who claim to be detectives. Never thought I'd meet one today.
沈先生，
Mr. Shen,
没
you ain't
证
got
据
no proof? I have proof.
目前还没有，
Not at the moment. What are you talking about, Shen? We have
那
proof.
就只能把你们都抓回去，大刑
Then
伺
you
候
leave。me no choice but to seize y'all and punish y'all with torture.
可恶！
Y'all, as they like to say in China. Damn it. We have
都推理
proof.
到这
We
一
have
步了，
proof. What are you doing? Shen,
还是要
Shen,
被
we
他
have
逃掉
proof.
吗？
I managed to come so far with my deduction. Am I really going to let him escape? I need a drink. I'm going crazy here. Shen, try to think harder. Could it be that we missed some kind of clue? We have the clue. What do you mean? You're just doing this for dramatic effect. You're just trying to... Oh my god, on Memory Palace. Oh, come on. Yeah. Didn't you always say that you were really confident in your Memory Palace? Thanks for the hydrate reading.
能告发罗世文的证据，
Evidence that can be
一定还
used to
存在于这个
accuse
房间之中。
Lo Shiwen must still be in this room. Except it's not, because it's the missing coat. It's not in this room. Not in the room.
凡有接触，必留痕迹。
All contact leaves traces.
证据不
The
是不存
evidence is
在，
non-existent, but
只是未被
instead
发现。
undiscovered.
以本物之
All
象，
objects and all images
本
settle
质之
in
象，
different locations
四地。
sequentially. Ooh, dramatic. Seems
桌上
like something is missing from the table.
到
What
底
could
缺
be
少
missing
了什
from
么
the
东西呢？
table? Handwritten manuscript.
书
Brain
桌上
blast.
缺少
I
的东
guess.
西
But what about
是
the
罗佩的
coat?
手稿。
I mean, I get that we didn't figure out this part, but the coat is the answer to the question he's asking. I don't understand. The thing that was missing from the table was Lopei's manuscript.
砚台上的素墨还没有
Ink
完
on the
全凝结，
inkstone has
毛笔
yet
上的墨也
dried,
未干。
and one of the calligraphy brushes has not dried out either.
说明昨晚
It
有人在书
indicates
桌前
someone was writing
写
on
过
the
东西，
desk last night.
可能是罗佩。
It could have been Lo
也可能是
Pei
假扮
or
成
Lo
罗佩的罗
Shihuan,
世
who
文。
was impersonating Lo Pei.
不管是谁，
The manuscript
现
should have
场
been
都应
left
该
at
留
the
下
scene,
手写的书
unless
稿。
someone took it away. Or it could be one of these
除非
papers here. We don't know if he
有人将
reshuffled his
书稿拿
desk.
走了。那些书稿，
When was the
是什么时候被
manuscript
拿走
taken
的？
away?
这件事
Or the coat?
我应该有印象的。
It should have I should have an impression of this matter.
调查这张书桌的时候，
Steel manuscript.
总
Yeah,
有
I
一
mean
种微妙的异
probably.
样感。
Or something like that. Well, but there's
要把
other
这种感觉
manuscripts here that aren't moved,
牢牢抓
is
住。
the thing. But it feels like he had to take the manuscript because it was Shi Huan who was writing it, right? And he probably doesn't have the same handwriting. Yeah, it's in his hand exactly. So, but with the coat. We have the what is this? This feels so. I mean, this is the motive, sure, but like, if they're asking like, why is there a third person involved? Why is it not us? And why was like, I mean, because if it was us, like, why? I mean, I guess we could have broken the bar to make it look like there was another person. I guess we also could have removed the coat somewhere outside. Maybe is that what he's? What's in his? Yeah, no, sorry, the thing. Yeah, I'm reading that. Okay. When investigating the desk, I felt strange. I need to grasp onto this feeling. That will be the case breaker, hidden inside my memory. Okay. I remember now. I saw a manuscript on the desk when I first awoke. That's why I felt odd during investigations. This means that the manuscript was taken after I woke. Someone concealed this clue during investigations. Who was it? Why would they do this? It could be Officer Ma, because he's a super fan. He's like a Lope stan, right? He wants that manuscript. Not to sell, but for his collection. The most likely person would be the murderer. However, there are still other possibilities. Exactly what I'm saying. Other possibilities? What's the probability of the emergence of other possibilities? Who is this? Someone from the past? What? Very low. Aside from the murderer, no one else on scene had the motive to conceal clues. No, Officer Ma, yeah, wants it for his shrine. So how do we treat these low probability events? We temporarily exclude them from our hypotheses. Some argument between Officer Ma and Lope over money or something, or was it the rice ball guy? The rice cake guy, he said in his story when we asked him, he said that there were some coins on the ground that he picked up because he saw some silver on the ground and he was like, oh, whoops. And he picked it up to give to Lope, and Lope accused him of stealing money. But he says that, he was punished for it, but they, reached, they're over it now, he says. According to him. But he never came inside, though. And the manuscript was stolen after we woke up, and we know he never came inside. So it wasn't him. But Officer Ma was the one who, there was an argument with Officer Ma, right? The rice cake guy said that Lope and Officer Ma meet in secret and that there was a dispute between them, and Officer Ma drew his sword. However, Officer Ma said that he's actually a stan of Lope and that they meet and he loves to talk about Lope's work. And he loves to talk to Lope because he loves his work, but Lope, he never gets to hear about Lope. And Lope asks about Officer Ma because he's an officer and he's, a mystery writer, and so he can learn about, different cases and crimes and stuff and get inspiration from Officer Ma. So he just asks Officer Ma a lot of questions. But Officer Ma one time started asking about Lope, and Lope told him about his work, and Officer Ma got mad at the gods for making Lope's work so difficult and for it being so difficult to be famous. And Officer Ma got mad at the gods for making Lope have such a difficulties with his fame. And so he drew his sword in anger at the gods. And that's what that was about. And the rice cake man just misunderstood. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what we were kind of thinking for a while. It felt like it was all three of them. Shi Huan, Officer Ma, and Younger. It felt like all of them, but I'm really busy right now. Could you go, who is this? Who is this weird person in your head, Shen? Who's that? Who's what? I'm helping you sort out your case, great detective. Who's that? It's us. Why are we talking to? What is going on? Devil on the shoulder? Maybe. I don't know. Assuming the murderer hid the manuscript. This manuscript must be very important to them. What could be written in the manuscript?
作案动机、
Their motive?
关键证
Key
据、
evidence? Last
死亡
words?
遗言，
Was the manuscript itself valuable? I think it was Officer
可
Ma.
能性太多了。
There are too many possibilities.
你更应该问的问
This is
题
the
是：
question you're supposed to be asking.
为什么白
Why
天冒
would
着风
something
险也要拿
he
走的东
risked
西，当天晚上却没有拿走？
taking away in broad daylight be left behind that night? Something he risked taking away, right? So why would he? Oh, yeah, that's true. If So yeah, so what our devil voice is saying is that if it was so important that Shi Huan stole it in the morning after the investigation had started, that, like, why wouldn't he have removed it the night before, right? Like, why would he have left it on the desk by the time we woke up? It should have been gone by then, right? He had complete control of the scene for hours. So either it appeared after the crime, which we don't think happened, they forgot it at the scene, which could have happened, or it was altered. But how would it have been altered, though? Because, like, Shi Huan is writing the paper, we eat the rice cake, we pass out. He takes the body out of the wardrobe, stab, 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 leaves, pretends to rebar the door, leaves the paper on the desk that he had been writing. They come back in, and then he swipes the paper. It would have to be that they forgot it, right? Like, because who would have altered it? No one. I think they would just have to. I hate this explanation, but, like, I don't know.
虽然有些难以置信，
I still think it was Officer Ma.
但似乎凶手在离开现场时遗忘
Although
了
it
一些
sounds
事情。
unbelievable, the murderer forgot something when they left the scene.
再次进入现场
Upon
后，
returning, he recognized the manuscript's
他意识到
importance and took the risk of keeping it.
本案是蓄谋杀人，
This had to be a
诡计是事先计
premeditated
划好
murder
的，
planned in advance to be able
否则
to
无法
achieve
做到
such
如此。
coherency.
凶手又是个
The
心思缜
murderer
密
is
的
a
人，
very meticulous person.
现场
They
也是
also
经他处理过
reorganized the
的。
crime scene.
什么样的事？
What kind of thing could they have forgotten?
真的每件事情都
Are
在
you
凶
sure
手
that
的计划之
everything went
中？
according to the murderer's plan?
是的，
That's
有
right.
件事
There was one
凶
thing
手
the
确实
murderer
无法
could
计
not
划。
have planned. Me.
凶手计划之
What was
外
not
的
part of
事
the
情
murderer's
是
plan? My arrival. Or, well, drugging the rice cakes was planned. Younger's arrival was... Again, I don't know that he expected Younger to show up, but maybe. Impersonating Lope. I mean, I think he only impersonated Lope because I showed up. But I don't think he was planning on impersonating Lope either. But I think we mean my arrival, right? Because we had already decided that that wasn't part of his plan. I don't know what that has to do with the
连罗
manuscript.
世文自己都说，他不可能事先知道我会
Yeah,
来
he
访
asked if he knew me, yeah. Well, because he wanted to make sure... Because if he said, hey, have we met before? And I say no. If I had said yes, he then knew he couldn't have impersonated Lope. The only reason he knew he could get away with impersonating Lope was because we had never seen him. So he hadn't planned to do that. But he also didn't plan for us to show up, is the thing. So both of those were unplanned. But the first thing was my arrival, I guess. It was the first thing in his plan. So I think that's what they're asking for. Even though Shi Huan himself said that he could not possibly have known of my arrival.
但不管他是怎么说
However,
的，
he actually designed a locked room
他
and
事实
framed
上
me
设计
for
了一
this
个
crime.
我成为这个
The
杀人
most
计划的一部
unreasonable
分。
part of all this is that I became a
这
part
本
of
身
his
就是
murder
罪过。
plan.
那如果
What if you hadn't
你
appeared
没
then?
有出现呢？
They wouldn't commit murder, they would have had another plan. Like, surely he just drugged him and then he was going to stab him. But we hadn't stabbed him. Or, like, we came before the stabbing, I think. He was distracted. Oh, maybe he was distracted. But they would have had another plan.
显然，
Oh, so
凶手还
maybe,
有
yeah,
另一
because
个杀
the
人计划，
writing the manuscript was
也是他
only
原本的方案。
because we showed up and he had to pretend to be Lo Pei. So he didn't intend to write the manuscript, so that's why when he did kill him and leave, the like getaway plan never consisted of writing the manuscript. So he forgot to take it with him because that wasn't part of his getaway plan originally, maybe. Evidently, the murderer had another murder plan, which was his original plan.
凶手没料到
The
我会
murderer's
中途
plan
到
was
访，
foiled by my
并坚
surprise
持要
visit
见
and
罗佩，
insistence on meeting
打断
Lo
了
Pei.
得知我与罗佩素未谋面
No
后，
frame means just
他临
poison
时
him,
改
then
变计
hang him
划，
from the
假扮
rafters.
罗佩引我进宫，
Maybe. I think he still
想
would
让
have
我当替罪羊。
stabbed him, right? Initially a suicide note? Ooh, maybe. Ooh, good thinking, good thinking. But you don't need a suicide note. Like... The hanging from the rafters makes sense, because then it loops in that other thing. But the thing is, it could have been just stabbing, right? Like, I don't know why, like, we have to have the hanging situation, because he could have been suicide by stabbing, right? The only reason because, like, we considered that option. The only reason it's not is because of the hesitation wounds aren't there. Need to recover the suicide note. Yeah, but, like... But why would he make the suicide note? You know what I mean? Like... I mean, I get that makes sense, but, like, it's not needed. He didn't have to write a suicide note. He could have just... And he didn't have to hang him. He could have just stabbed. But it might not have been found as a suicide, though, because I don't know if Lo Shihuan knows about the hesitation wounds. You know, like, he might not have put them on. I mean, he clearly didn't now because he framed us, but it's possible he might not have done them originally. And again, for us, we consider suicide, right? The only reason it's not is because there aren't hesitation wounds. But I guess if they're suicide noted would be more obvious, but, because, like, he still could have made it a suicide. Like, I mean, I guess framing us is better, but... I don't know. I feel like he still could have done closer to his original plan. Realizing I had never met Lo Pei, the killer improvised and posed as him to frame me. Yeah, it seems like what they're going, though, is with the suicide note, but, Jesus, man forgets about the note. Yeah, but that would have been a stupid plan because he didn't need the suicide note. Like, if he already has a knife, like... I don't know, it feels weird to have this other plan. Like, I get that it wraps up all the clues, it explains the thing in the rafters and everything. But, like, there doesn't need to be a suicide note. You know, like, I guess there could have been. But it also could have been him just... Right, like, we don't know until we get the paper, is the thing. Because he needed to be writing something to disguise himself as Lo Pei as well. You know, so, like, from our perspective, it doesn't have to be a suicide note. It's not like, oh, well, you were writing something, so obviously it was a suicide note. Because it could have just been part of the disguise, you know? Like, there's no reason for us to say it was a suicide note, because a suicide, even if he was trying to make it look like a suicide, that a suicide note isn't necessary for that. So, like, there's no proof that it was a suicide note. All we know is that it's in his handwriting, which is enough, right? Like, it doesn't matter what it says, it's in his handwriting. Unless it's in Lo Pei's handwriting and is a suicide note. But does Shihuan, can he do Pei's handwriting is the question? Like...
那么凶手原本的计划是
Really? Yeah, I mean, it's probably a suicide note. I just don't think it's very good writing, is the thing. Falsify Lo Pei's suicide. Yeah, that's clearly what it is. But I don't think it's good writing, because there's no reason for it to be that, is the thing. Like, because he could have just still been doing a suicide, and then when he shows up, starts pretending to do something, and then he took the note because it was in his handwriting. Maybe he's got bad handwriting. I mean, Yeah, well, it doesn't, because if it's a suicide note, then he can't have bad handwriting. Because the thing is, if it's a disguise, it's because the handwriting doesn't look like Lopez, and it was clearly his handwriting, which is why he took the note. But if the note was a suicide note, it would look like Lopez's handwriting, but it would be talking about a suicide, which is the problem. Because he didn't commit suicide. However, the thing is, though, he didn't have to take the suicide note, right? Because we still even considered suicide. And again, the only reason we didn't think it was suicide, like, no one's saying that he didn't commit suicide with me there, right? They were like, could it have been suicide then? And we said, Shen said no, because no hesitation wounds, right? And the thing is, there probably wouldn't have been hesitation wounds anyway. Like, he still could have gone through with the suicide thing. Or he didn't have to steal the note. He could have just left it there and then been like, oh, whoops, looks like it was a suicide after all. I don't know how we would have had the knife, though. I guess that's part of the issue, but I don't know. I still think the suicide note thing is... I get that that's where they're going, but I don't think it's good writing. Because, like, we don't have evidence for that right now. It's a possibility, but it's one of a couple different possibilities. Like, because it's not needed for a suicide. He didn't have to do a suicide note. Like, he could have been planning to not do a note and just to hang him. You know? And, like, if it's a locked room and he's hanging from the rafters, then, like, people still would have said suicide, right? They wouldn't have been like, but there's no note. So, you know, like, he could have been planning to do no note and instead did the note as part of his disguise and then is worried that the handwriting doesn't match Lopez, and they would know that he had been there and was the one writing that night, right? Like, and he would have forgotten it because he originally didn't consider the note in his, or the manuscript or whatever in his plan originally anyway. So he completely forgot about it when he left. Because he had never planned on disguising himself and stuff. So, like, that could be an option as well, right? There's no reason it has to be the suicide. We have multiple options. And for us to be like, of course it's a suicide note is like, I mean, it could be, but we have nothing to prove that right now. So I just don't think it's very good handwriting. Or not handwriting, I don't think it's very good writing on the part of the mystery, I think. But it doesn't matter, because all we know is that he has the note, right? So, like, regardless if it's a suicide note or if it's in his own handwriting, and so he was clearly the one at the table the night before, either way, like, we don't have to figure out which one it is. We just have to say, hey, I think there was a manuscript on the desk, and Shi-Huan has it. Can he hand it over? Search him, please, right? Like, that's all we need to know. If I had not appeared, there would have been only Lopez's corpse. Evidently, the murderer's original plan was to make Lopez kill himself in the locked room. And the original plan was to falsify suicide. What could be hidden within the manuscript? A suicide note, but I don't think it needs to be. It doesn't. He might. Maybe the note wasn't part of the original plan. It wasn't part of the original. I don't even know what he just said. Maybe it wasn't part of the original plan. We don't know it was part of the original plan. Mr. Shen, if you keep dawdling around, I'm gonna have to resort to violence. Sorry, I was just spacing out, talking to myself in my head for a little bit. Talking to my inner demons. You know how it is. I'm sure you know how it is, Officer Ma. I'm sure you have some inner demons. Hold on. Judge Cheng, Officer Ma, I am now aware of all the murderer's schemes. I, Shen Chongping, promise to uncover the truth. Chongping, I think is what he said, okay. Chongping. Judge Cheng, there's no need to listen to his fabrications any longer. Wait, he's been holding it the whole time. He's holding it. It's right there in his hand. It's right there. He's been flipping it around every time he's on screen. You said that a while ago? Oh, I didn't notice. So the manuscript is relevant. Could be murder and theft. Could be murder and attempt to cover it up. Both are motive. Yeah, like it doesn't matter what the manuscript is. Like it's that he took it and it's his, and like either way, it's like doesn't really matter. But yeah, see how much this bothers you. I actually would like to give Mr. Shen another chance.
沈先生，
Mr. Shen, although
请
I
说
believe
吧。
you are at the end of your rope,
虽然
you may
本官觉
begin.
得
我与罗世文素不相识，
Isn't the
却能
nephew's
成为他密
grocery
室
list or
杀人轨迹
something?
中的核心一环，是因为
I mean, even then, like it could be, right? Because I mean, like the whole issue is he was sitting there. Someone was sitting here last night writing something. I mean, I guess I still don't think the manuscript is good evidence. I don't know why we're talking about this when we should be talking about the coat. Like we literally have in our clues. Can I do tab now? Yeah, do we have clues? Do we have the clues here? Where are the clues? Evidence. See? No, that's not it. That's our coat. Wait, where's the okay, that's not in our evidence. But we had talked about it. We had talked about it. Why is not part of our okay, fine. Fine. Clearly they don't want to use it for the case. But we had said before, we had said in our other thing that we can't the F menu that we can't press now because it starts auto scrolling. But in our deductions of issues with the case, we had determined that the no coat means that there was movement in and out of the room because he was wearing a coat when I last saw him, and then when his body was found dead on the floor, he's not wearing a coat and there's no coat in the room, so thus the coat would have had to leave the room in that time. So it wasn't a locked room case, and there had to have been a third party involved because there's no coat. Manuscript be a diary note. Said today I saw a pretty flower. That's all. I mean, even then, it like it's just like I don't know, because like again, he could have been sitting there writing it last night. Like I guess that's why it has to be a suicide note, because that's the only way we can prove that this paper is what was on the desk the night before. But I still think we should be talking about that coat, because I guess I get that I could have removed the coat, right? Like after I stabbed him and broke the boards, and then I could have removed the coat or something. But like, why would I, right? And I think what we really should do is lock this guy up and search for the coat and see if we can find it. Because I have a feeling it's not going to be on my ship or whatever I used to get here. I kind of forget. A steamboat, right? I got here on a steamboat. It's not on my steamboat. It's probably going to be, I don't know, somewhere where this guy hangs out. So I think that they should look for the coat, because that was our piece of evidence for why there are more people involved, is because of the coat, or why this isn't a locked room at the very least. Like I could have removed the coat, but the room, it is not a locked room murder because the coat left it. But, and we could even get she went to admit that he always wears his coat. So, yeah, let's continue on. Lo Shihuan and I are complete strangers, yet I became a crucial part of his scheme because
罗世文
Lo
临时改
Shihuan
变了计划，
improvised his plan.
而他原本的
His
计划
original plan was to falsify
是
Lope's
伪造罗
suicide.
佩在屋内自
I
杀。
mean, we know he improvised because he didn't know we were coming, so he didn't mean to dress up as Lope. That was never part of the plan, obviously. Like we talked about this. Oh
原
God,
计
Afu.
划是伪造
What a
自杀
oh my
吗？
God.
沈先生，
Falsify suicide.
你的这个说
Mr.
法
Shen, do you
可
have
有
any
凭据？
evidence? Am I gonna come
根据
to
我的
like
推理，
that little happy-go-lucky
凶手在离开
attitude
现场
Afu
时，
has by the end of this game?
不慎将一份
am
伪造
worried
的
that I'm
遗
gonna
书
be like, oh, sweet
落在了屋
Afu
内。
again. Like at first I thought that, and then I'm like, oh my God, I can't take him. But probably by the end, I'll be like, that's our sweet boy. I believe the murderer accidentally left a forged suicide note here when he fled the scene.
哦，
Oh, there
还
was
有
such a
这种
thing?
事？
沈先生，
Yeah, sure.
都到
Wave it
这
in
个时
everyone's
候
faces.
还在信口雌黄。
Bro, hide that in your little clothes. Mr. Shen, How could you be so full of yourself at a time like this?
你要是有什么遗
If you
书，
found a suicide
就
note,
拿出来给
take
大
it
家
out for
看
everyone
啊
to see then.
若伪造
If he
遗书
really
以示
did
为
forge
真，
some kind of
本
suicide
部
note,
立马
I'm
将
a
罗世文拿下。
Lo Shihuen in an instant.
马捕头，
Officer Ma,
我能问你
may
一
I
个问
ask
题
you a question?
你说吧。
Go on then.
我初醒来时，
When I first awoke,
曾见到书
I
桌上
remember
铺
seeing a
着一
piece
张
of
纸，
paper on the desk.
你可有
Did
印
you
象？
see it? See, I still think I would have liked it to be a manuscript that he was pretending to write the night before. Officer of the Western Transfer. Who, this guy? No? Cuff with a sword? Yeah. Exactly. I think I wanted him to pretend, as being Lo Pei, to pretend to write a manuscript. Officer Ma comes in and swipes the manuscript because he's such a big fan. And so then when we realize he took the manuscript, we say, hey, can you produce the manuscript? Let's look at it. And we have manuscripts here on the desk that are from Lo Pei. And we compare the handwriting and we realize the manuscript that Officer Ma took was actually written in Shi Huen's handwriting. And I think that would be really fun. I think. I would have preferred that. Because I feel like we really haven't looped Officer Ma into this, and he has a connection to the deceased that hasn't played a part in this whole story. You know? And I think Rice Cake Guy should be involved too, in some way. You know, kind of accidentally like he should have been the one to put the knockout drugs in the cakes just out of spite, right? Because of his grudge. And that wouldn't have even been part of Shi Huen's plan either, you know? I think would have been good. Caps him for his fanboy shrine or his last manuscript from his favorite author. Yeah. Well, but he thought it was a real one. You know, he would have thought it was a real one. And it's not. And then he's upset because it's a fake. Yeah. So I think that would have been better than whatever we're cooking here. I'm not really a fan of it. I like my version better, but that's just me. When I first awoke, I remember seeing a piece of paper on the desk. Did you see it? See, this is where we go. You took it, didn't you? It's so close. So close. Now that you mention it, I think there was.
不过，
But then again, I don't remember that clearly either.
马捕头曾反复强
Officer
调，
Ma, you have
绝不
repeatedly
允许任
stressed
何
that
人
no
破
one
坏
is
现场。
allowed to tamper with the crime scene.
然而在调查时，
However, during investigations,
凶
the
手就是在
murderer
您的眼
secretly
皮
hid
子
the
底
note
下
under your nose.
偷偷
Yeah,
将遗书
how
藏起
could
来。
he do that? Officer Ma has been eagle-eyed at making sure no one messes with the crime scene. So clearly he's the one who took it. I don't like the way we're writing this.
我们一起再搜查一次房间，
Let us search the room again
只要
and
找到
find the
遗书，
suicide note.
就能证明我的
It's
观
right
点。
here, man. It's right here. It's right here.
沈先生，我
Mr.
劝你
Shen,
不
I
要
advise
再
you to
拖
stop
延时
stalling
间
for
了。
time.
你编故事
Your
的能
ability
力
to make up
真
stories
是
is
比我们
even
这些
better
写
than
小
us
说的都要
novelists.
强啊！沈先生，
Mr. Shen, I have already heard a
今日
handful of
本
deductions
官
today.
你的分析虽
Although
然
your
听着都
deductions
挺有
sound
道
quite
理，
reasonable,
但
after all,
毕竟
they are
只
just
是你的
one-sided
一面之
statements.
词。本官
I
断
need
案
to see solid
还是
evidence
需
to
要
settle
看
this
到
case.
实打实的
That's
证
why
据。
we said to find a suicide note. Follow along, Judge Chang.
张大人明察秋
Judge
毫，
Chang is so perspicacious. Bro, no one uses that word. Shut up.
你既然主张屋内
Since
有
you
伪
claim that
造
there
的
is a
遗
suicide
书，
note, you have the
你就
obligation
有
to
义
find
务
it.
找到的。本官再给你
I will
最
give
后
you
一次
one
机
last
会指
chance
出
to point out where
你说的
exactly
遗
that
书
suicide note you speak
究
of
竟
is.
藏在哪里？
县老爷，
Judge
其实
Chang,
一次机会
there's not a
和
big
两
difference
次机
between
会
one
的差别
chance
也
or
不
two
大。
chances,
不
perhaps.
如
在最后给一
Give
次
me
机
one
会。
last chance. This
这
is
是
what
沈
Mr.
先
Shen
生
said
刚
himself
刚
just
自
now.
己说的话。
Little cute
感
bow.
谢张知县成全，
I am grateful,
一
Judge
次
Chang.
机会够了。
One chance is more than enough. I don't think it's more than enough. I
根
think
本
that's
就没有这样
exactly
的证
enough.
据存在。
There's no such evidence like that at all.
那么，就
So,
请沈
Mr.
先生
Shen,
指出
please
吧。
point it out.
先生，咱们
Shen,
只有一
we
次
only
机
have
会
one，chance left.
这可怎么
What are
办？
we going to do?
到
Well,
了
yeah,
这
as
个
soon as
时
the
候，
judge says you have an obligation to find it, you just
必须
reach over and
躲避
grab the
吧。
paper. Here you go. Yeah, dude's waving it. I know. Every time we're like, where is it at? It cuts to him, and he like grips the paper in his little side note. It's just like, wow, they're really drawing your eye to it. times like this, there's no choice but to take a gamble. Man, I wish or Officer Ma had it. I really wish he did. It would just be a better story that way. That's okay. It's right here, man. Yeah. It better be. The suicide note is hidden right here. Where? Evidently, it is hidden on your person. Right there? You lie. Sticking out from under his... Yeah. Or like, Officer Ma, can you please remove your hat? And underneath it is a little origami hat. little paper hat he made underneath his other hat. His other paper hat. This whole hat is made of the manuscript. Officer Ma and I both searched inside and outside this house, but no note was found. The only possibility is that the forged suicide note is on your person. What do you mean? I'm not holding any paper whatsoever. Chang, the Shen Chongping want to search my body without any clear evidence? You don't have to search your body, I'm just gonna grab it out of your hand. A scholar of Gui Mao year. I don't kneel before officials. Well... if it is necessary to make myself more clear, this is the exact location. Right here. What is this game, man? What could that possibly be hidden on me? Yeah, it's not really hidden now, is it? The manuscript is missing. Should be the book that you have been holding this entire... the manuscript missing should be the book that you have been holding this entire time. The forged suicide note must be hidden within it. Yeah, where could it be? I don't know. It's like Dora the Explorer. Where is it? Do you see the forged suicide note? No, that's not. Officer Ma, take that book for examination. Stay where you are and don't you dare move. Hand over that book. You what? Don't come near me. Stop eating the books. What, he's eating them? Stop that. Huh. Lord, look. There's actually a piece of paper folded in here. Look at his shocked little face. I inked a pact with death, awaited his arrival patiently. Tonight, he finally knocked on my door. Yeah, he was just hungry. He's just a little hungry. The rice cakes were poisoned, so he couldn't eat them. Yeah, he's so glad he got to get through a fight. He was ready to go. He's mad that his Oshi died, you know? I trouble my last of kin, Lo Shihuen, to handle my affairs. Please keep matters simple. An accurate foretelling, Mr. Shen. This is indeed a suicide note. He's been hanging out, that's why he's agitated. Lo Shihuen, you ungrateful little bastard! Master Lo treated you with love and care. Could you do something like this to him? I'm gonna sharpen my sword with that head of yours. That's the last thing I'd do. That's nonsense. He's the one who let me down. So, Lo Shihuen, are you admitting that you killed Lo Pei? Slander, lies. No, it wasn't me. Lo Shihuen, no matter the circumstances, murder was not an option, nor was framing the innocent. Mr. Shen, could you recall the sequence of events in this entire case for me? Sure. The initial plan was to drug Lo Pei and use the ribbon in the wardrobe to kill him. By using the door latch, it could create an illusion of Lo Pei hanging himself in a locked room. However, during his act of murder, I arrived unexpectedly, insisting on meeting with Lo Pei. Therefore, his only option was to improvise his plan and frame Shen for the murder. Lo Shihuan
罗世文
drugged
从
me,
柜子中
killed
将
Lo
昏睡的罗
Pei,
佩抬出
and
并杀
framed
害，
me by placing
又
the
将凶器
dagger
塞入
in
罗
my
网，
hand.
然后按原
He
计划
thereupon
弄断
broke
门
the
栓，
door latch
伪造密
according
室，
to the original plan to create a locked room,
却不知天网恢恢，
not
疏
knowing
而
that
不漏。
justice has long arms. Abu silence.
在
Yep.
现实中杀人，
How could
跟
murder
在小说中
in
想象作
reality
案，
be the same
就
as
岂
the
是一样的？
imagination of committing crimes in novels?
死者胸口
The
被刺后
deceased
流了很
bled
多血，
profusely,
完成
and
布
it
置
also
所花
took
费的
longer
时
than
间
he
也
expected
比他
to
预
set
计
up
的
the
要长。
scene. Yeah, I don't think he bled profusely, really. Like,
他忙中出乱，
when you think
留下
about
了
it,
许
it's
多漏
not
洞。
that much blood. We're fanning ourselves now. Ooh, look at that. It's get hot in here. Things are heating up. As he was in a hurry, there were many loopholes.
漏洞？有什么漏洞？
Well, that's a fun word for loopholes. Loopholes? What loopholes?
在弄断门栓时，
When he broke the
他没
door
注意到
latch,
绷
he
进
did
袖口
not
的木
notice
叉
the wood chip that flew into his sleeve.
他没有时间还原布
He had
袋
no
整
time
理
to
衣柜，
reorganize the wardrobe and
只能
simply
将那卷
stuffed
布
the
袋
ribbon
塞入
into the
其中。
clothes pile.
不料，
Without
却把袖口
notice,
的
the
木
wood
叉
chip
留在了上
slipped
锁的衣柜里。
out from his sleeves and was left in the locked wardrobe.
最致命的，当
And
然
he's
是他
supposed to be
竟然忘了
hanging.
把
Why
遗
did he
书带
stab
走
him? Oh, yeah, just to
只
framing.
能在案发后
I
再
still
不进入
like
现
that
场处决。
idea. Like that it was originally hanging and then a stabbing. Like I get it, but at the same time, like it feels weird to have two murder methods involved. You know, like I don't know, man. Kind of weird. The most fatal one was that he actually forgot to take the suicide note with him.
为此，
So he took away the
他拿走了
manuscript
桌
from
上
the
的书
table
稿。
and hid the note
小
in it.
我说的没错吧？
Am I mistaken, Lo
罗
Shiwen?
少，
You are
就
the
是
culprit
杀害罗
who
佩的
murdered
凶手。
Lo Pei.
不不不，
No, no, no. None of
你
you
们根
truly
本不懂，
understand. That's mine.
那
It
是
belongs
属
to
于我
me.
的东西，
All of this is
本来
mine.
就是我的，通
The
通都是我
suicide
的。
note? Bro,
怎么会？怎么会？我
it's not your suicide note. I mean, it is, but
这
how could this... How could I... No, no way. No, wait, no, wait, no, no, wait. He's passed
这
out.
小子居然直接晕
Look
了
at
过
this
去。
punk. He just fainted. Can't really explain a hanging by murder. So he stabbed him. Yeah, I get why, but from a writer's perspective, right? If this were real life, it would make sense. But from someone writing this as a story, it just... I mean, I get that they're making it complicated for, you know, to make the mystery more complicated. But, like... I don't like it as a story, though. Like, you know, I just... And again, he didn't have to frame us. It could have been suicide the entire time. Because, like, even when the officers showed up, we were like, huh, was it suicide? They're not like, oh, well, there's no way it could be suicide with Shen here. Like, they were still like, huh, maybe it was suicide. Maybe he poisoned you so that he could commit his suicide without you here to stop him. Right? Like, but, you know... And again, when we were investigating originally, the only reason we said it was murder, not suicide, was because there were no hesitation wounds. If he had stabbed him and put in hesitation wounds, we would have been like, yep, suicide. So, like, he could have done the suicide note and still hung him. Motive for coming back, but not really a motive for the murder. Yeah, I still don't get the motive for the murder entirely. I get he wanted his estate, I guess, but, like... I mean... kind of weak, to be honest. I mean, he probably thought the only way was framing because he was panicking. I guess. But, like, I don't like that. You know, like, that's a really weak storytelling technique. Is that, like, he had to do it a worse way because he panicked. Like, I don't know. That's just... It's like, we wanted to make it complicated, and so we're kind of desperately pulling at reasons to explain a complicated plot. You know, like, it's not a very natural flowing story. It's the author trying to make the pieces of the story fit their vision rather than the story following from a natural progression itself. It's just not good writing. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying it's not good writing. Not just hang the victim, then drug Shen, stab him, then dump him. Yeah, I mean, we could have killed, like, we could have died too. Like, he could have just dumped us somewhere. Like, we don't know anyone here. As he should know, Shihuen should know. Like, we're visiting Pei, and we've never met him. We don't know anyone in the town. Like, we're not from here. Like, he could have just got rid of us. Like, interrupt the time you're murdering a guy is really coincidental timing. 5 minutes off either way, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, like, it is kind of weird timing too. Like, that also is part of it, is it's like very contrived, I think, is the thing. You know, contrived to make the mystery story happen. Like, that's why I almost wish that the body had been dead first. You know? Like, I had kind of wanted Lo Pei to be dead and then stuffed in the closet. You know, like, was kind of what I had wanted. Because, you know, and then, like, I don't know what the rest would happen, but, like, you know, it just feels like why, because he could have just not answered the door, you know? Like, it's not like we would have barged in, especially if he just locked it, you know? Like, or if we pretended and we were like, oh, sorry, I'm not feeling well tonight. I can't let you in tonight or something. Or just say, I didn't talk to you. I don't know what you're talking about. You must have received letters from someone else. And just not let Shen in and then just finish the murder-suicide business. Like, but then the story would end in 2 minutes. Yeah, but, like, you can't, like, it's not a well-written story then, though, is the thing. Like, second dead guy in his place is a way weirder scene. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, like, I mean, like, he just should not have let, and I get he was panicking, but, like, again, it's not a very well-written story, is the thing. Like, yeah, the story, there wouldn't be a story that way, but, like, if you're gonna have a complicated mystery, you can't just, like, because we could also, like, make up weird things, like, oh, he was, I don't know, afraid of evil spirit. We could add in all sorts of other weird stuff, you know, like, that can make explanations to things. But, like, it would be, I don't know, like, it's like the only reason this is the way it is to make the story happen. When, like, it feels like you can't rely on things that are too coincidental, or, like, rely on things was he was panicking so he made mistakes. Like, that's just weak storytelling, though. There are ways to write this more interesting. Yeah, well, not just more interesting, just better is the thing. Like, a story should hinge, yeah, a story shouldn't hinge on weird circumstances. Exactly. Say Lo Pei wasn't there. Yeah, exactly. He could have said Lo Pei's not here right now, or he could have pretended to be Lo Pei and said, like, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember. Like, you know, there's so many things he could have done. But again, he was panicking. But, like, that's not good. That's just not good writing. It's not good writing. Propaganda against the Emperor, cops cover up the killing. Yeah, like, I mean, there's... I don't know. Like, I feel like, yeah, relying on coincidences is not the best writing. Is my point. But... anyway, look at this punk. He just fainted. Mr. Shen, your performance has impressed me deeply. Not only were you able to clear your name, you also uncovered the culprit. Still kind of wanted Officer Ma to be involved, because he's, like, you know, a big stan of Lo Pei. You know, like, I feel like working that in would have been good. Like, you know, I feel like, I don't know, there was more here I think we could have done. Like, literally everyone had a motivation expressed in the story, potentially. Except, because even he could want to, like, kill him and then, like, I don't know, steal his manuscripts, or, you know, like, I don't know, the fans go crazy. But, like, I feel like the motivation was weakest with Shihuen compared to literally everyone else. And also, who was the crying woman outside? What was that about? His friend, publisher, who was it again? What was she? I don't know. Like, what was she doing outside? We never even addressed that. Extraordinary. However, I still have a glimmer of doubt. Yeah, me too, Judge Chang. I don't have doubt, I just am unsatisfied. I'm glad you agree, buddy. This little head above mine on the screen. Yeah. Pray tell, Your Honor. The handwriting in the suicide note and Lopei's manuscript is strikingly similar. Lo Shihuen has not confessed, and his motive is not clear. This case faces many variables. What if, this would be cool, but I doubt it. But what if Lo Pei was never actually the writer the whole time? And what if Shihuen was actually the writer, and he is mad at his uncle for taking credit, and so that's why he killed him? That'd be good. That'd be good. I don't feel like they've set us up for that, though. Because Lo Pei is the one who talks to Ma all the time about, like, crime stuff. But Officer Ma wants to help the novel writer, and he winds up dead in some sort of mutually agreed, now show me how to do that sword strike would actually look accident. I mean, I don't know, that could work, you know, that'd be good. I like it. I don't know, I like Officer Ma being involved. I don't know, I just thought that was a better, like, a more interesting relationship than, you know, uncle-nephew. But maybe Shihuen is the novel writer after all. Maybe we're going in that direction. I mean, probably not. But I'm giving them the option. Hey guys, I'll if you want to, game writers, if you want to go in that direction, you can, feel free. Just make your own game. I mean, it's easier to critique another person's already existing game than make your own. But I mean, I do want to make my own games, so you know, that's one of my goals for this year is learn more about game development. So maybe I'll write a better game. Actually, I feel like I'm not very good at mystery writing though, because of this same thing. It's hard to come up with an interesting mystery without making things seem weirdly coincidental. Like, I am bad at that. Like, I can edit this and show them, like, I don't like this, but I don't know how to do it better. but I do know that this would need work, or like I can edit it to make it better for them, but I'm not as good at thinking it up myself. Like, I am aware of that, like, because I've tried plotting mysteries out before, and I feel like I'm not very good at it. But to be fair, I might be good at it if I did a first draft and then edit it myself for a second draft. Maybe then it would be better. But I haven't gotten that far because I never finished a first draft because I'm always too frustrated because I'm like, this sucks. So I never finish it. But maybe it'd be better with the second run through too. Make your idea. Been running pen and paper RPGs for forever. Writing good plot can be hard. Yeah, it depends on the plot. I'm really good with like other plot types, like, you know, fantasy stuff or whatever. Less good with just mystery plots. I'm not good with mystery plots. It's that one. I think it's better with revision. First try is hard. Well, trial and error isn't. I mean, it's not, writing isn't trial and error. Writing is writing and then revising. And every author revises. It's like, no one writes it the first time. A lot of times, the first draft looks almost nothing like the finished product. Books always expect heavy revision. And this is a game, but it's the same thing. When you write it, the first draft is always going to be not good. And then you're expected to undergo heavy revisions after your first draft, normally. And like, this is pretty good. I just think some of the points of being coincidental I'm not really a big fan of, but anyway, in order for this to become a more ironclad case, more evidence needs to be found. Am I correct? Yes, that's right. What do you reckon, Mr. Shen? Guys, can we just be done with this now? I wanted the stream to be over, like, almost an hour ago. Why is this case still going? Oh my gosh, yes, the coat. Finally, we're talking about the coat. Detective Pikachu. Lo Shiwen wore Lopei's coat when he was impersonating him. That coat is missing.
应该是在
He
罗世
probably
文第一
took
次
the
离
coat
开
when
现
he
场时
first left the
被他带
scene.
走。
He must have a compelling reason.
哦，
Oh, what
什
reason
么
is that?
理由？
Another 2 hours. No.
我猜
I suspect it was
罗
stained with
世
the
文是穿
victim's
着那件外
blood.
套行凶的，还有带蒙汗药的潮膏，也在布置完现场后
Well,
被
I
罗世文
mean,
带走了。
this is also stained with the victim's blood. What's the problem? The drugged rice cakes as well. Lo Shihuan must have taken them away. Oh, I was wondering what happened to the rest of the rice cakes. Because I was like, there were still some left after we ate them. And Lo Pei ate his rice cake before us. So where'd the other rice cakes go? I was wondering about that. The coat for the next 40 minutes. No.
留给他处理的时间
He
有
didn't
限，
have much time to deal with
这些
these
东西
items. So they
还在
could
某
still
个
be
地方
hidden
藏着，
somewhere.
也
Like,
说
why
不
would
定。
he have to remove the rice cakes? I can see. But why would he have to remove the coat? It's stained with the victim's blood, yeah, so it was the victim's undergarments. I don't understand the problem.
这个嘛，
Well, Officer
马
Ma,
捕头，
what do you
你
reckon?
怎么看？
如果发现罗世文藏匿了血衣，此案必然是
Yeah, I
铁
don't
案了。
understand why coat. If we find out that Lo Shihuan is hiding a bloodstained coat, then the case is closed.
我这就派人
I'll
搜索
send
去。
people out to search for it right away. I think we should have done that already. The whole manuscript thing really wasn't necessary.
这一
He
来
cut his hand and got his blood on
剩
it
下的
too.
就
Oh,
是程序性的事了。
maybe, but like, so the corpse has blood on it too. I mean, maybe it got his own blood on it, but they can't tell whose blood is whose. Is the thing. This is 1900. They don't have that forensic testing. That's the thing. Yeah, there's no DNA at this point. So like, I don't know what the problem is. Well, what's left of this matter is all procedural.
今天委屈
You
沈
have
先生
suffered
了。
injustice today,
咱们
Mr.
一
Shen.
同离开
Let's
此
leave this
地吧。
place together. Have suffered injustice. Thank you for recognizing that, Judge Chang. Solved. Case number 1. Yeah, we're genius. Oh, whoa, he put down his glasses. Did you see that? Look at that. Look at that. Afu's in, I don't know what mode that is. I haven't seen him this. Whoa, now he's back. That was crazy. For a second there.
案子破了，
1800s blood test.
先生
Yep,
看
looks
起来也
like
不是
blood.
很
Yep.
开心。
Yep, that's how they do it. So it doesn't really matter. It has blood, it has blood. Shen, you don't seem particularly happy, even though the case is closed. The man I came all this way to talk to is dead. Afu, what do you think, buddy? Activated cool guy glasses mode, I guess.
是因
Is that what
为
that
还没
is?
搞清楚作案动机
Cool
吗？
guy glasses? Is it because you still haven't figured out the motive? I mean,
这个
yeah,
不着
that
急
too.
了，等罗世文醒来再去问问就是了。
Don't worry about it. We'll just go and ask Lo Shihuan after he wakes up. Yeah, of course he'll tell us the truth. He's been telling the
你可
truth
还
the whole
记得
time.
我来找罗佩的
Yeah,
原因？
exactly. Thank you, Shen. He gets it. I get it. I get you, Shen. I mean, I don't get the rest of the whole end part of the case. I don't know why he cared about the manuscript that much and all that, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah. We came this way to talk to Lo Pei. Afu, do you still remember the reason why I came to visit Lo Pei?
是为了查3年
For
前
the
英国伦
investigation of
敦
the unsolved
先生
case
哥
of
哥的那
Shen's
起
brother
悬
in
案。
London 3 years ago.
先生说过，
You said that Lo
罗
Pei's
佩的
novel
手
was
稿
related
似
to
乎
the
与那起
unsolved
案件有
case on
关。
your brother. This is a big dump of exposition and
那起案
background
子
information all of a
因为案
sudden.
发地点的特殊性，
Due to the
苏格兰场下令保
particularity
密
of the location of the crime, Scotland Yard ordered secrecy. What if Afu stages his stuff because he's crazy fan of Shen and wants to see him working magic? Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be
接触
fun.
过
I
案件
doubt
细
it
节的
though.
人
I doubt it, but I know
连
you're
我
on
在
that
内，他也不超过5
Afu
个。
suspicion route. Including me, perhaps no more than 5 people have been exposed to the details of this case.
我无意中在护报上
Recently, I
看到一
stumbled
部
upon
连
a
载
new
的侦探小
detective
说，
fiction published in the Shanghai News.
就是罗佩写的那部
It is the
董
confined
事一
room
阵吗？
mystery written by or is it the confined room mystery written by Lo Pei?
是的，
That is correct.
按理说，
A novelist living in
这个
rural
远在湖南
Hunan
乡镇里的
Yunnan
侦探小说家
could not possibly
不应该与伦敦那桩案子
I don't know
有
how
任
to
何
pronounce
联系。
could not possibly have connections to the London case.
但诡异的是，
Moriarty was Watson all along. I mean, maybe we think Sherlock Holmes is a master of disguise. I mean, maybe Moriarty is so good at disguising himself as Watson that he fooled Sherlock. Moriarty's good. Moriarty's good. Maybe. What was eerie about this matter was,
先生，难道说
Shen, could it be that
罗佩小说
the
中的作案
details
细
of the
节，
crimes written by in
那桩案
Lopez's
子
novel are exactly
一模
the
一样。
same as that case?
唉，
Ah,
罗
now
佩
that
这一
Lope is
死，
dead, we've
线索
lost
又
another
断了。
lead.
眼下仅存的
Our
希
only
望
hope is Lo
是
Shihuan.
昏迷中的罗世
Perhaps he
文，
will know of something, but he is
也
still
许
unconscious.
他会
But we
知道
could
些
ask
什么。
Officer Ma too. Remember, he's a stan of Lope as an author. He might know a lot of, behind the scenes facts and stuff. Fun
既然这
details.
样，不如
If that's the case, why don't we
先去吃个早点吧。
go grab some breakfast, Shen?
先生，跟你说
Let me
啊，
tell you something,
刚
Shen.
我路过一
I
家小
walked
吃
past
摊，
this food stall earlier.
那里卖的
The
臭豆腐
fermented bean
闻起
curd
来
they were
特
selling
别
smelled
香。
really yummy. Okay, man. Sure, Afu. Sure. I can't tell if Afu is competent or a complete goof. Like, what's he here for?
啊，还是外面
Okay,
空气好。
okay. This, I think, is a stopping point. This feels... I feel something else coming up. Sure, we'll save it there. Okay. We are saved, right? Yeah. Yes, okay. Lady in the wardrobe. Ooh. That's something different. Okay. Batman comic where Joker was actually Alfred who dressed up and committed crimes to give meaning to Bruce's life. Oh, really? Oh, no. I mean, maybe. Theories are always fun. Fun theories. or just, fun fan fiction as well. And you can make whatever be whatever, really. The Joker hire a bunch of people to play the rest of their rogues. That's fun. That's fun. It's a fun theory. A fun twist, I suppose. Yeah, it was a Joker, yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's the anniversary for today. I don't think I really have enough time to get much done now after stream like I had wanted either. But hopefully tomorrow evening. And tomorrow evening I'm not streaming, so I'll have time to actually get more stuff done, hopefully. I'll stream again on Thursday, and we might play more of this game, I think, maybe. Probably. Maybe something else. Maybe until then, if I feel like playing more until then. But maybe more of this game. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I feel like on Thursday. Or maybe another game entirely. Who knows? Actually, maybe not this one. I usually, for storytelling games like this, I usually like to give time between streams just in case people aren't here and want to follow along with the VODs. And I want to give them time to catch up. So, this might be like every Tuesday sort of game. So, it's an interesting game, yeah. Yeah, I like stuff with plot. It makes it fun for stream, I think. But it does kind of hurt sometimes because like once you get like a few streams in, people have to catch up and things, but curiosity is piqued. Yeah, I think it's a fun little game. I enjoyed it. It's like, the other detective fiction, but like it's set in China and that's cool. That's fun. It's like a little different. So, um, pretty neat. And the art is pretty. It's like a pretty game. Good style. And again, the mystery was like a little contrived, but I mean, what do we expect, right? What do we expect? It's just a video game. It's not like, I mean, look at what we did, like compared to like, yeah, it has Ace Attorney vibes. Or again, like I said, I'm not as familiar with Ace Attorney, but yeah, it's like waiting for the next anime episode. Exactly. Next week on Murders on the Yangtze River. um, but yeah, Ace Attorney, or again, like Danganronpa has a lot of Danganronpa kind of stuff to it. They're all kind of like in the same category. But like comparing it to at least Danganronpa cases, I don't know, Ace Attorney I think can get pretty wild too, if I recall from hearing about some of the cases. But like, if I'm like, oh, well, this is a little contrived, honestly, this is way less weird than Danganronpa. So I don't know why I'm being so hard on this game. Not perfect, but it's better than some of the other mysteries out there in other mystery games. So, like, mm. The pink blood. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just, that's just like aesthetic. But some of the some of the stuff is a little like out there in Danganronpa. I mean, but I guess Danganronpa is like solidly out there. It's not just like it's a little bit of a stretch. It's like everything is bonkers crazy. So one game you're playing does, oh, you're loading a save. Let me give you a 3-minute recap of the story so far, which is super helpful. I mean, something you wish more games did. Mm, yeah, that can kind of be good because a lot of times, like, it's hard to remember. Like, I like from last game, I didn't remember him confirming that they hadn't met before. For instance, the last time we played this, I'm like, I didn't remember. Um, but to be fair, they had given that in a recap. Well, then they wouldn't recap. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess they could just have a list of like important moments and like they'll show you those moments, but then it gives it away, because it's an important moment in the game because it was in the recap. So I think I've seen games with that though before though, with like kind of recap thing. I forget what games, but I feel like I've seen them before. Anyway, I need to go. So, thanks for hanging out. Thank you guys. It's fun having everyone here. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for any lurkers too. Appreciate you. Thank you VOD watchers. Appreciate you as well. And again, you can subscribe to my YouTube. Hopefully I'll be putting more shorts up and putting them up as reels on TikTok as well, if or not TikTok, on Instagram, and maybe a couple of them as TikToks on TikTok before I stop using it. Um, and so follow me on Instagram. I'd like to get to 100 followers on Instagram or over 100 because sometimes they like, I think 100 is like a threshold. I know Instagram has thresholds where like they handle your content differently based on follower thresholds. I know sometimes, or at least messages. Like they don't show your messages to people if you like DM people and I think they do it with certain things with putting out content as well. I think they do, but I know the threshold limit exists, I think, in the TikTok algorithm. And I have 98 followers on, or not TikTok, Instagram. So I have 98 followers on Instagram. So if people want to follow me on Instagram, get me over 100, that'd be nice. Um, but too though. I was already at 100 like a year and a half ago, and I never got back after I did that. It's really sad. Same name, Celestine Steele VT. Because Celestine Steele was taken already on Instagram. So it's around somewhere. I had taken it down, but I think I re-put it back. It's on my about page here, I think. But yeah. So if you want to follow me there, you can. I do have other content up there and stuff. So that's, a place where you can go for things. And of course, follow me on Twitter and on Blue Sky. I haven't really been using Blue Sky, but it's there, and maybe I will use it. Who knows? And then my second YouTube channel that I'm starting doesn't have anything up yet. You'd have to use the link to go there directly. www.youtube.com/at it's television, like television, but with a C. So youtube.com/at it's television with a little at symbol. Um, and and I have the I don't know, I have that around somewhere. I'll post it more later. I don't have anything up on it now, but when I do put stuff up, I will post it on my other socials and advertise it more. But it's there now if you want to follow it. Or subscribe to the YouTube channel too. And that will have book club stuff next month. Starting up a little book club for our community, and we're doing Howl's Moving Castle for our February book. And I'll have a video up there soon explaining how the book club thing will go. And if you want to read that with us, or not, because I'm going to post a summary of it as well, so you can join the like book discussion stream, so you can just watch my summary of it and then still follow all the discussion. If you're not a big reader and you're like, I'm never going to get around to reading that, that's fine, because some people, they're like, I'm not a big reader. I know I'm not going to read it. It's not like it's spoilers because I'm not going to read it. But you can also listen to the audiobook if you're an audiobook person, whatever. If you want to, if you're not a big reader, but you like to read more, maybe this is good motivation. Who knows? It's just one book a month. It's nothing crazy. So yeah, there's that. And also I'll post video essays of different topics that interest me, on that second channel too. So you can subscribe for that. And you need to read more, well then you can read with us. Perfect. Um, But yeah, because I figure one book a month isn't bad. You know, that's like 12 books a year. That's not crazy. That's not crazy. We can all fit in one book a month, surely, surely. And reading's good, so can't hurt. And I'm trying to start out with like slightly easier books to ease us into it. Like I said, I was going to do the Golem and the Genie, but that book's a little bit thicker and harder to get through. So I'm doing House Moving Castle. Lord of the Rings books you ordered are coming a Saturday. Yay, that's good. Yeah, you should focus on reading those. Um, but or also House Moving Castle. House Moving Castle is like a pretty easy light read in terms of like writing style, I feel like. It just flows very nicely. So yeah, it's not a bad one to start off with. So I don't know what we're doing for March yet. I'm gonna have to go out to a bookstore, I think, to browse to get ideas off of the shelves in person. When sometime in February, I think. I need like a good Saturday kind of afternoon free to go browse the shelves and see what's what. Because it's hard to find online sometimes because Amazon is not great for browsing for new books, that's for certain. Especially because everyone always notifies you. They're always like, "Ooh, we recommend this book," but they only recommend it if it's pre-orders. Once it's published, they kind of stop recommending books to you, and I hate that. Because I like don't want to pre-order a bunch of books, um, because you don't pay for them when you pre-order it. You pay for them once it's printed and shipped, and I like don't want to keep track of all of those pre-orders I will be paying for later, like knowing I'm spending that money in future, I kind of want to just, spend it at the moment. It's hard to budget for that, but once it's published, they don't recommend it and then you forget that it exists and it's so hard to navigate. So I'm just going to go and look at the bookshelves and see what's there. Especially because a lot of the books on Amazon are like, not to say that self-publishing isn't good in some ways, but it does mean that a lot of books that aren't quite ready yet that could use some more work get self-published and might not be worth your time to read. So it's, but anyway, that's all of that. There's other socials and all of that and blah blah blah. So you can follow me all those other places. Thank you guys for hanging out again. And I'll be back on Thursday. So have a good couple days. You'll see me around on my other socials in the meantime, but have a good night if you're around the same time zones I am, or have a good day if you're somewhere else, and definitely have a good couple days until I stream again on Thursday. Hopefully I see you guys then. And yeah, that's it. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.